The heart of your teams, the heart of Michigan. Bally Sports Detroit, the heart of the fan.
Adams High School, Rochester, Michigan. The invasion tonight comes from a ranked rival. The Clarkston Wolves are loaded with talent and eager to prove they're the class of Oakland County. But this is home of the Highlanders. When you hear the bagpipes play, it means one thing. It's Friday night at Rochester Adams. High school football on Bally Sports Detroit is presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Looking live at Rochester Adams High School, the site where the Highlanders are ready to take on their rivals from Clarkston. A battle of two of the top teams in Oakland County. Kickoff moments away on Bally Sports Detroit. Good evening and welcome to Football Fridays. I'm Natalie Kerwin, standing right outside the Rochester Adams locker room where the Highlanders are getting ready to take the field. It's an entrance you won't want to miss, I can promise you that, and I'll show you in just a few moments, so stick around. But for now, I'm going to throw it to the guys who are calling the action tonight, Johnny Kane and Justin Cessante.
Well, thank you, Natalie. This certainly has all the makings of being perhaps the best high school football game that we're going to do this year. You got two accomplished programs that know each other very well. Talk about the hometown team here. Rochester Adams came one game shy of a state championship a season ago.
Yeah, they have unfinished business and put in a lot of work to get to the state finals last year. 13-0 record going into that. Belleville was just a little too much, but very close game in the first half. And they have all the pieces together to make that run. And it's going to be very exciting to see what they do, not only during the season, but their playoff run this year for Rochester Adams.
They come in unblemished with a 2-0 mark as they hope to make another deep postseason run. They got talent all across the field, but I think you got to start with the dynamic duo who happen to be twins, yeah. Parker and Tate Pico.
Yeah, twin brothers, natural born leaders, both great baseball players. Parker's committed to Alabama for baseball, but they are really the fuel that make the offense and defense go. Nucleus around their game plan and scheme. Going to have a big night tonight to beat their rival Clarkston, but these two young men are always up for the challenge.
On the other side, you're talking about one of the most accomplished running backs in the state of Michigan. Ethan Clark, very few have a resume that he totes.
Yeah, and they had a back here a couple of years ago, Ian Erickson, that had a phenomenal career, and he's about 1,000 yards from beating his school rushing record. This young man is a tremendous running back. He runs downhill, he has great vision, he's shifty, and he's physical. He falls forward, never getting pushed back, and he has done a tremendous job last week, really ripping off tons of yards against Southfield A&T.
Yeah, they ran all over Southfield A&T, and you got to have everybody blocking for you up front, but it helps when you got that guy at left tackle. Talking about Cole Dellinger.
Yeah, prototype Power 5 left tackle, 6'4", 300 pounds, committed to Michigan State. And this kid is just fun to watch on film. He's big, he's physical, he's athletic, but he finishes. The amount of pancakes that you watch this young man get in a game after game, the consistency is really tremendous.
Now, there's going to be tremendous talent on both sides. Going to be an exciting atmosphere here at Rochester Adams High School. We can't wait to get it going. Natalie?
Johnny, thank you very much. That we're here for Rochester Adams, dressed like a Highlander. He's been over here for 20-plus years, leading the team out, and he's been playing the bagpipes since 1970. He's played in numerous bands and performed at the Detroit Opera House, the Fox Theater, and countless other places. It's his favorite hobby, and he happens to do other sports here as well, but football, he tells me, is his favorite. He's getting ready to go. The team is getting absolutely fired up. They're locked in. This has been a tradition here for years. Clarkston just got out the field. Rochester Adams, the home team here, about to go.
You'd be hard-pressed to find a better entrance at any level of football than the Rochester Adams Highlanders, who take the field looking to stay unblemished, move to 3-0 against their rivals from Clarkston. We'll bring you the kickoff right after this. Football Fridays on Bally Sports Detroit are brought to you by Family Hootie, Cooling and Electrical. Family's not just the name of our company, but the way we do business. And by your local Toyota dealer. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And we bring you inside Adams High School here in Rochester for a fabulous matchup between the Highlanders wearing the brown and gold against the Wolves wearing the blue and gold. Johnny Kane, Justin Cessante, and Natalie Kerwin, who you just heard from on a perfect night for high school football here in Rochester. Nothing but good days ahead here and good atmosphere here as well. They're calling it the luau here tonight. We see both student sections packing out and bringing that atmosphere here. And, you know, Justin Pintar in his first season as head coach of the Clarkston Wolves. Been with the program since 2015 as their O-line coach. And, of course, the longtime head coach of the Highlanders is Tony Petrito. 20th season at Adams High School, all knotted up here tonight as he gets ready to hopefully improve his program to 3-0. They come in ranked 4th in the state, and they'll do the kicking off here tonight, Justin. It'll be Clarkson who will possess it first, and that football is going to go back of the end zone, and we are officially underway. First OAA Red matchup of the season for both football programs here, and there's a young man named Mike Hine, a senior quarterback, transferred from his wide receiver spot a season ago, and you can see what he's been able to do. An athletic kid that you certainly like what he's able to do as a dual threat guy.
Yeah, not easy to transition from wide receiver to quarterback, although you do know about the scheme and the playbook. It's going to be interesting to see what he does tonight. He's going to be the X factor in this game, Johnny.
So Mike Hine will lead this offense out here, and of course, as we mentioned, Ethan Clark, the senior running back, number 34, who will line up behind him. One of the best backs in the state of Michigan. They go 4 receiver set on first down. Hine fakes the handoff to Clark, and he's got all sorts of room. Mike Hine past the 50. Got a lead blocker. Look out from behind. Mike Hine stays in on the first play from scrimmage. Takes it to the house. Touchdown, Clarkston.
Oh, what a way to start the game. We talked about in the beginning, X factor, Mike Hine moving from wide receiver to quarterback, great athlete, has a lot of speed. You see Clarkston uses the motion to get people out of position. They've been doing it all season, and they hit a big home run right off the bat. What a way to start the game and take the energy from the Rochester Adams crowd.
80-yard touchdown run on the first play from scrimmage, and you said it right now, it is pretty quiet here on the home sideline at Clarkston. What an ideal start to the football game. We talk about the key being trying to slow down Ethan Clark, the tailback, but Mike Hine, tremendous athleticism. You see that burst of speed. Another look at it.
Right here we have the double slot. They motion the slot over. You get a little push, a little bit of an adjustment from Rochester Adams, and they just leave over the backside gap. Right here, they go with the running back, expecting Ethan Clark to get the football, and there's just nobody there to fill the gap, and Mike Hine is out like the lights.
How about that? Good lead block there from Cole Church from his wide out position. Needed one blocker in front. They just couldn't catch him from behind, so an ideal start for Clarkston. 31 seconds, and it's 7-0 in this football game.
And Johnny,
Look out.
Johnny, isn't that what you want from Clarkston? Big environment, house is packed. You know that you're probably the underdog in this game, and you come out and you hit on the first play. What a swing of momentum.
Well, we know they can score points. Scored 62 points in the shootout against Southfield A&T last Thursday. Problem was they weren't able to slow them down very much. Gave up 56 points. So I don't know if they want to get in a shootout here tonight, but we expect both these teams to be content with running the football as long as it's working.
Yeah, Clarkston traditionally, especially the last 10 years, have had a great defense, and they've struggled the first 2 games against Davison and Southfield A&T. Obviously able to get the win the second game, but they're definitely going to have to make sure that they fill both sides tonight with Rochester Adams. They're going to be anxious to get back and put some points on the scoreboard.
As Coach Pintar, been a part of this rivalry for a couple of years as an assistant. He knows how tight these games typically are. Rarely do we see a blowout when these two teams collide. Now Adams will get an opportunity to possess the football. And back deep for the Highlanders. Not much room to work with. And let's take a look at the talented quarterback for Rochester Adams, who will lead the charge here tonight. Needs no introduction to these fans here, but his name is Parker Pico.
Yeah, and Coach said that he's just a special person, not only a natural-born leader, but just special qualities about him. And not a lot of quarterbacks nowadays are playing both sides of the ball. They have him over at free safety as well, and he's really the nucleus that's going to make this scheme go from the veer option to the variety of formations that they show tonight, and trying to establish the run, but will open up in the pass as well.
So they'll spread him out wide. As Pico lines up in the shotgun, they do bring motion. Hands the football off right up the middle. And how about this? Chuck yardage on first down. Mateo Humbert. Let's take a look at the offensive front for the Highlanders. It's Waters, Bollock, Beatty, Orsini, and Hassan Murray over on the right side. And they've got some pretty good talent in the skill positions. Humbert, you just saw. Nick Patera, we'll see plenty of him. A lot of these positions interchangeable. Tate Pico, Brady Prescorn. And this time, it's going to be Parker Pico. Picks up maybe a yard or 2. Defensively for Clarkston, the linebacking core, they got to be locked in today, Justin.
Yeah, Kavanaugh, he's a very good football player. He's the leader in the middle of that defense. They had some alignment issues the first week against Davison. They cleaned a lot of that up against Southfield A&T, but then A&T did a really good job of passing against them. So they're going to have to be very effective in the run-pass game to make sure that they slow Adams' offense down.
This time the handoff again goes to Humbert. Picks up a couple of yards. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 5.
You showed the veer option. Now look here for the first couple plays. Look for them to go now to the option. They went to the midline. They then got it to Parker keeping it. And now watch the option here on the 3rd and 5 and or a screen. Great time to run a screen.
Pico looks to the sideline as Coach Petrito looks on. Sends in the signal. We got twin receivers here at the bottom of the screen and spread out up top as well. There's the motion. Hand it off. Sweep action. Still with it. Fighting for first down yardage. Nick Patera. Right at the sticks. And that'll be a first down for the Highlanders.
And you know, although this isn't a typical variation of the veer, this is just a jet sweep that you work out of it. We saw the midline, we saw the quarterback keep it, and now instead of running the option, they ran it with the jet sweep and got the first down. Great play call there, and they're really working each. It's keeping Clarkston's defense honest that they have to make sure they honor every single option of that veer.
That certainly creates havoc for opposing defenses. They can do a lot of different things out of it, as you just showcased. This time, Humbert up the middle, spinning up near midfield. He's going to pick up about 8 yards on first down. So again, quick hitter right up front. The thing about it is, you're looking at a team right now that 4 new starters on the offensive line, but playing well to this part of the season.
And what coach is looking here as they call this on offense is they're looking where the techniques are on the defensive line. And if they're getting a technique in at that one technique, which means it's shaded in towards the center, they're going to keep hitting that midline until they adjust. And so we're going to see how Clarkston Wolf's defense adjusts here. And those linebackers have to really come down and take that dive first. They cannot go running out expecting the option or expecting the quarterback keep.
2nd and 1, ball at the 47-yard line. Pico fakes it. Pico right up the middle. Forget about it. Parker Pico faked the handoff to Nick Patera, and all he had was daylight in front of him. He takes it to the house, 53-yard touchdown run.
Right here, you see them ride that out. They expected that jet sweep the other way, and the quarterback keeps it. You have a big gap there. Defensive linemen are a little wide. Linebackers get out to that jet sweep fake, and we're off to the races. Big-time plays here in the first 4 minutes of this game, and it's very exciting to watch. You felt the energy. You knew this would be a special night here, Johnny.
Little punch-counter punch from both of these quarterbacks showing off that athleticism. Parker Pico coming in with 337 yards and 4 TDs on the ground. We're adding to those totals early in this one. All tied up here at Rochester Adams High School. 7 apiece, 6 play, 87 yards, capped off by that 53-yard touchdown scamper by Parker Pico.
And although you have a lot of different variations of formations, they run the same plays. Right now we're going to see the DN and the linebacker go ahead and chase on that jet sweep, and it opens up a huge gap for Parker Pico to go ahead and strike the band and off to the races for a big touchdown to respond to Clarkston's first touchdown of the game.
We expected a good one. We might have a great one. What an atmosphere, packed house here. And both these programs, you know, looking at this game, again, you start league play, hey, no matter what we've done to this point, let's start league play just right. We still got all the goals in front of us. And you know when it's a rivalry game, you've been a part of games like this. Whatever the records are, even though we only played 2 weeks, throw them out of here. Let's just go out and play football.
There's times at CC when we played Brother Rice, it was as important as winning the state championship, beating your rival. So 100%, Johnny, I agree with you.
All right, let's get to tonight's keys. We call it Cessante sauce. What do you got?
Yeah, Clarkston started off rough the first 2 games defensively. They have to find their identity tonight. They want to control the ball, although big plays and scoring. I guarantee that coach won't be disappointed with that. And limit mistakes, limit turnovers, limit penalties, and limit mental mistakes. Make sure your stance, alignment, key responsibility is on point defensively and offensively.
1 play, 1 score for Clarkston. Let's see what they do this time. Again, they fake the handoff to Ethan Clark, and Mike Hine keeps it himself. This time, the Highlander defense stays poised, stays true, holding to a gain of 1. How about the keys on the other side of the football?
Yeah, Adams is reloaded from last year. Actually, great run. They are very physical at the point of attack. They want to continue to do that. 11 hats to the ball. Defense wins championships. They definitely have a championship defense, and let your playmakers get the ball into their hands so that they can make plays.
On 2nd and 9, Pintar back to throw. Got his man on the outside right near the first down markers, fighting for more yardage. They'll have it. Aiden Kurgis picks up the first down for the Wolves. Let's take a look at the starters for these Clarkston Wolves. We talk about the talented left tackle in Cole Dellinger. And then Nick Washenko, Jacob Leonardson, Gage Heikkinen, and Dominic Kleba. Good size up front, skill positions. Clark Colson's a kid who's on the rise. Desmond Stevens, Kurgis, who just picked up the first down. And Cole Jarvis on the outside. 1st and 10. This time, Ethan Clark. Oh, mercy! Clark with a head of steam. 3 Highlanders in pursuit, but it's too late. Touchdown, Clarkston. Woo-wee. We got a football game, folks.
center and left guard just clears everybody out. You watch right here, they get man-on-man base blocking. It's a simple dive, and Ethan Clark's going to take that all day. You could drive a Mack truck through it, Johnny, and off to the races. What an explosion here in the first quarter. Adams, Clarkston, you're expecting a heavyweight fight, and you're seeing punches thrown early, haymakers back and forth.
We showed you that offensive front, Nick Washenko and Jacob Leonardson creating that big hole for Ethan Clark, who is having an outstanding senior campaign. Another touchdown to the resume.
Did he get his 2 yards?
How about that? He needed 2 yards to eclipse 3,000 coming into tonight. And now joining Ian Erickson as the only two Clarkston Wolves running backs with 3,000 career yards. Impressive.
Great open field.
Those are some easy ones there.
Yeah, not going to catch him once he gets going there. Great job by the offensive line clearing that hole.
And again, just shy of 1,000 yards from catching Erickson's record. You think he's going to do it this year?
Oh, 100%. I would be very surprised. Stays healthy. They're going to make a playoff run. They're a good football team. So I no doubt he's going to catch that record. I'm sure Ian will be very proud of him, the way this young man's carried himself and his reputation in this program.
Mr. Football candidate for sure. 3 plays, 80 yards. Took all of 49 seconds. And a 67-yard touchdown run from Ethan Clark. And the visitors from Clarkston with a 14-7 advantage. We have not yet played 5 minutes of football. Aiden O'Neal boots it away. Highlanders with the football and a little bit of speed. That was DJ Greer, number 5 on the return. And he'll get up right at the 20-yard line, and that's where Rochester Adams will take over. If you're tuning in from around the area, we want to show you where Rochester Adams High School is here on a map. Just north of Metro Detroit. I came up from Royal Oak, took me about 35 minutes. That makes sense to anybody. Beautiful up here, though, and again, these two schools not very far from one another. See the Clarkston student body here in full force, as well as a good crowd from the visitors. 1st and 10 now for Adams at the 20-yard line. Parker Pico, after his 53-yard touchdown run, which tied this score, back out to direct the offense. Pico corralled after a gain of 1.
And expect Rochester Adams to keep going back to what works. And they want to continue to give you that look. They want to rock you to sleep, make sure you have to honor the midline, honor the quarterback, honor the option, and they're going to continue to work it to see what happens and what opens up. You know, what an offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator and offensive coordinator are looking at is how to combo each other, how to play that chess game, and you're seeing a great chess game tonight.
Tony Petrito been coaching high school football since 1986. You guys seen a lot. It's time to hand the football off. No, Pico keeps it himself again. Nice job on the fake again for Parker Pico, who is close to another first down. He's going to be a couple yards shy.
Yeah, great effort here by Pico. Like you said, Johnny, that's a great fake. You have to sell your fakes in order for the veer to work. If you sell your fake, you're going to make sure that those linebackers honor and open up that gap for the quarterback to get downhill. Good effort there by number 11, Parker Pico.
You see Tanner Buck in there, running back number 27. On 3rd and 3. How about the Clarkston defense rising to the challenge and keeping Pico shy? Nick Washenko in on the stop, number 53 for Clarkston. That'll bring up 4th down, decision time on this side of the 30-yard line.
Yeah, you have your right defensive end showing great discipline. He's squeezing down on that dive, but does not jump inside too far, and he's able to make the play on the quarterback. That's a very good job, and disciplined football is what's going to make sure he stops the bear.
And Parker Pico kicks it away. Nobody deep for Clarkston, and that ball is going to come to a rest at the 25-yard line. So Nice job by the Clarkston defense. First defensive stop for either team here tonight. And Clarkston's going to get an opportunity to possess it again. How about 4 plays for Justin Pintar's offense here so far tonight? And that's what they've done with him. And 1 pass completion, the rest of it's all come on the ground. A couple of touchdowns and 120 time of possession.
Well, we talked about ball control, but I guarantee he's going to take his touchdowns.
Ethan Clark, the ball carrier, picks up a couple of yards. In on the stop for Adams. Let's take a look at the impact players for Rochester Adams.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic of these linebackers. You watch film from them last year and even the first 2 games. They've been tremendous. They've been stout inside on the run, great in the pass game. They use them a variation of blitzes, so they need to get it together and get back to what's made them win and successful in the past 2 weeks.
Hine back to pass. Just off the fingertips of his intended target. Cole Church, the senior wide receiver, had it in his grasp for a moment. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, this opens up very well. Outflanks the defensive back there. Gets out there, has to make that catch. Now it puts him in a 3rd and long situation. You know, right here, Johnny, is a great time to try to sell that flat pass again and get over top. And you want to go to some of your big receivers. Desmond Stevens is one of them.
Hine back to pass, going over the middle. Had a man, but good coverage by the Highlander defense. He was looking for Cole Jarvis, number 14. Nice job in coverage. Parker Pico was back in coverage for the Highlanders. And that'll bring up 4th down.
And Rochester Adams puts themselves in a lot of situations where their defensive backs are on an island. They play a lot of zero coverage so that they can bring some pressure, some blitzes, and get pressure on the quarterback. Parker Pico may have got away with one of those, but great job making a play on the football and getting them to punt.
This kid all over the football field. Parker Pico, you saw that in coverage. Good closing speed. Now he's in at punt return. Kick is away. Not a bad one. Pico signals for fair catch at the 43-yard line. We'll see what Rochester Adams has in store. They trail early, 14-7. Can Pico bring them back into the end zone?
Welcome back to Rochester Adams High School, where Clarkston leads this one 14-7. Now, last week, Clarkston High School honored one of the coaching legends of Michigan high school football, Kurt Richardson, who spent 35 years at the helm of Clarkston's football program, won 3 state championships, and even went to a 4th. Decided to retire last season, so the torch was passed. Enter Justin Pintar. He spent the last half-dozen years as Kurt Richardson's offensive line coach, now a head coach for the very first time. I asked Coach Pintar if he's trying to start a new culture. He looked at me and said, no. Why would I change something that KR has built? He laid the foundation and the groundwork. Why would I want to mess with that? I'm going to keep going with what he did.
Love that story. They say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Ball hits the turf. Highlanders able to fall on top of it. You knew KR, didn't you?
Yeah, Coach Richardson's amazing man, builder of men. I was in a very similar situation at Catholic Central when Coach Mack retired and Dan Anderson took over. And, you know, the administrative duties for a head coach can be overwhelming. It's more than just football. And they've kept their culture in line because they've just kept their coaches who've been around that culture, that winning tradition of Clarkston. And it's made it very easy to transition, doing a phenomenal job over there at Clarkston. I'm sure making Kurt Richardson proud. And he said on the phone call we had this week, Johnny, that Kurt Richardson's been a great mentor to him even after retiring.
I'd love to hear that. Not everybody has the benefit of being able to bend the ear of the exiting head coach. He says sometimes he'll pick up the phone, call him. He says he'll give me 30 minutes or whatever it takes to make sure we get everything sorted out.
Penalty, repeat, second down.
As a penalty goes against Rochester Adams. There's Coach Petrito
and this must be driving him crazy. Just the linebackers doing some uncharacteristic things as far as discipline, stance alignment, key responsibility, and then you have a fumble and then you have a penalty. Rochester Adams has to clean this up one play at a time, pay attention to details, or this could be a long night for their offense.
Officially 2nd and 21, ball at the 32-yard line. They fake the jet sweep. Parker Pico keeps it himself. Gets through the first line of defense. Oh, stiff arms a man. Parker Pico! Pico! Into the end zone! Oh, wow! That might have been the best run I've ever seen from a high school athlete.
I mean, look, we can talk X and O's all day. They again fake the jet sweep, pulls out the tackle and the linebacker, but this is an effort play. He's off to the races. This is a Mr. Football, state champs Mr. Football play right here. And there's no doubt Parker Pico is here to make a difference in this game tonight. And wow, just wow, Johnny. This crowd is electric.
What an effort. Tremendous athleticism, again, dual sport athlete, showing it out, showing everything. We're going to take another look at this because it was so pretty.
Yeah, again, you get the defensive end and that outside linebacker just pulling on the jet sweep, but the individual effort here, let's not say that this is scheme. This is individual effort by Parker Pico, special young man, special athlete. Again, going to Alabama to play baseball, but I would not be surprised if there's some football scholarships coming down the pipeline for him to try to sway him to the other way.
You know, in talking with Coach Petrito earlier in the week, he says, you know, you got that Alabama scholarship 3 years ago, so every year I come back and I look over and I see Parker Pico as my quarterback, I feel so blessed. He says, I know in this modern age of specialization, there's a risk, obviously, you assume when you're running the football as much as he does with this program, but, he said he rarely runs out of bounds. I asked him to run over safeties. He just ran over one right there, and, just has ultimate respect from his head coach. 100% locked in, whatever sport he's dialed in at the moment. And right now his focus is on football, and right now his football team is all square, doing 14 apiece.
Doing a great Josh Allen impression from last night. I mean, throwing the ball, running the ball, physical. You can tell who the leader of this team is by example, and that's Parker Pico.
And now Mike Hine will get another opportunity. I'll tell you what, I don't know what to say. I knew we were going to have a good football game. I really did. I think we all knew we were going to have a good one. Sometimes you just never know. When the athletes come out to shine, they show up in big games like this. It's fun to be a part of.
Iron sharpens iron. You're getting the best out of both teams.
Mike Hine hands the football off. A little bit of running room. Cole Church up the near sideline. And he's knocked out of bounds. That'll be a first down for Clarkston.
And I like what Clarkston's doing here. They banged it inside. They got some success. You saw them loosen up the defense. The defense starts tightening in when you're getting big run plays. And they start passing to loosen them up a little bit, and now they get outside. Good job there by Church, getting into the edge and picking up a first down on first down.
Trips receivers to the top of the screen. Hine passing all the way. Ball disrupted and knocked down. Brady Prescorn from his defensive end position, number 22. There he is.
Yeah, 24 offers, big-time recruit, known for the offensive side, but uses his length here to get his hands up and be an X factor on the defense, get in the vision, the window of the football being thrown, and tips it up and almost gets an interception there for one of the other defensive linemen there. Number 11, who's a stout football player, obviously, Parker Pico. Parker Pico just comes from, he's all over the field.
There's a handoff again. Church again, this time around the far sideline up near another first down, so Clarkston using a little speed to get to the edge. Go back that Brady Prescorn, 6'6", closing in on 6'7". You get your hands up, you get a lot of passing lanes, and certainly the scouts at the next level understand that. There he is, number 22. Heck of a growth spurt for that young man on his junior season. Third down. Looks like the ball might have come loose. And I believe it did. Rochester Adams says, we've got it. And the officials agree. So on 3rd and short, this could be a big swing of momentum.
And Johnny, you see things like this happen when you're not used to being under center as much. And I think that Clarkston's offense was trying to rush the pace a little bit because they saw that Adams' defense was not set.
Rocco Orsini a little slow getting off the field. Let's see what happens. Just a bad snap.
Again, Clarkston not traditionally underneath the center. That also could be the center exchange there. Not used to having the hands there. And big play. Unfortunate mistake for Clarkston.
Rocco Orsini, he was in the middle of all that action. It's a big part of what they do on both sides of the football, so he'll get a quick blow as Coach Petrito looks on. Ideal starting field position at the 41-yard line after the turnover. Pico hands the football off this time, and a couple of tough yards up the middle. It kept the feet moving. Looks like he might have picked up 5 yards on the play. That was Tanner Buck, the young running back coming in. So you can see what Rochester Adams has done. Touchdown, punt, touchdown. Neither team chewing up a lot of clock. We still got 2 minutes to play here in the first quarter.
This is the time I'd take a shot. You know, your second is short. You're going to get a third and short if you don't hit it. Maybe throw one up to Brady here. See what he can do.
Pico hands the football off and upended. Nice stop. Coming up from his corner position, Desmond Stevens, number 5 in white. Not much doing.
Desmond Stevens is 1 interception away from a school record. He has 8 over his career. He gets 1 tonight. He'll be at 9. Tremendous corner. I think college ability, no doubt. He's made a lot of big plays on offense and defense the past 2 weeks for Clarkston. Comes up and shows a great tackle there. Great open space. Gets his hips down and feet downhill.
3rd and short from the shotgun. Pico. Jet sweep action. In business. Highlanders. Flag comes in. Nick Patera has the first down, but hang on.
7.
Flag right at about the 30-yard line as Patera got to the edge.
7, yes. Holding. Offense. Number 7. 10-yard penalty. Be 3rd down.
Here from Matt McDermott and this fine officiating crew, veteran crew. How about Frank Tallarico? You want to talk about a veteran crew? 53rd season officiating high school football. Special.
Amazing
Special
commitment to the game and the youth. Yes, sir. Clarkston is going to have to find a way to get their defensive ends disciplined. If they continue to not hold the edge, they're going to continue to get outside on that jet sweep, and it just messes everything up inside for the D tackles and linebackers because they start trying to do other people's jobs.
3rd and 8, inside a minute to play, opening quarter. Pico back to pass with time. Had his man right at the sticks, put it on the money, but unable to corral it was DeMarcus Rouse. And that's going to bring up 4th down. Again, ball's at the 39-yard line.
This is
4th and 8.
Yeah, 4th down territory. You got to make a decision. Do we punt and pin them with how this game's going, or do we go back? Right there, you drew double coverage to Brady, and you're going to get a lot of that because of his size, and opened up the flats really nicely just to drop football. I wouldn't mind if Coach went back to that to the other side.
Talk about their talented young tight end, number 22, Brady Prescorn. What they look for him in this opportunity here. 4th and 8. Pico, flush from the pocket. Overthrows his target. Flag comes in late. Double coverage in the secondary by Clarkston. And that's going to be pass interference. He was looking for Nick Patera. Again, Patera will play a little bit of
Defensive pass interference. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Yeah, he had a safety over top. You never want anybody to get deeper than you. It literally looks like the feet get tangled up, but when you put your hand on the back, make it easy for the referee to call that. Pass interference,
so Patera,
and a first down.
Yeah, we've seen Patera out of the backfield. They'll move him a little bit at tight end. There you saw him at receiver as well. So all over the field, number 9 for the Highlanders. But it's a first down. There's 9 in motion. This time, Pico fakes the handoff and swallowed up by that Clarkston defense. Good gang tackling by the boys inside. What a first quarter of action, huh?
Unbelievable.
What a first quarter. Rivalry games, you just never know. And tonight, we've seen the stars shine bright. That's how the first quarter will come to an end. Everybody with an opportunity to collect their breath. 2 touchdowns apiece for Rochester Adams and Clarkston. 3 quarters of fine football straight ahead. Time for tonight's Menards Big Money Moments. We've already had plenty of them here in 1 quarter of football. It all started with Mike Hine. That quarterback from Clarkston goes 80 yards on the first play from scrimmage.
Look, and they're not doing anything different than what you see on film. They're just executing at a high level, and defenses are having the hiccups.
Punch, counter punch, Parker Pico, 53-yard touchdown run. That was the shortest touchdown of the opening quarter, because Ethan Clark off to the races, right up the gut, untouched for the Mr. Football candidate. And then back to Pico. How about 7 carries, 126 yards, 2 touchdowns. Get on! Onto the end zone. Individual effort. None finer than that one.
He's playing like a man tonight, Johnny.
All square.
Grown man on a high school football field.
All square at 14 apiece. Coach Petrito, Coach Pintar. Here are the Highlanders with the football. In business. A little shimmy. And up down to the 10-yard line. Good shiftiness by Jake Sukar.
Yeah, so you see here, you just get a little reverse off of that action. And again, that's what we call a little trick play in their variation. You get the jet, you get the midline, you get the option, you get the quarterback keeps, you get the jet, come back with the reverse. Great play call there in the red zone.
Highlanders in business. 1st and 10. Ball at the 10 here to start the second quarter.
Watch Brady Priest going down here one-on-one.
Pico keeps it himself. Fake the jet sweep down inside the 5. He'll be down at the 4-yard line.
They're going to continue to run it as they find success. But always watch the big number 22 there. Has a one-on-one matchup on the goal line. It has to be very tempting to go ahead and throw that football up to a 6'7" wide receiver tight end.
Second and 4. Make it 2nd and goal. Hand the football off, working into the end zone. Touchdown, Adams. Tate Pico, the twin brother, getting in on the scoring action. First carry of the night for Parker's brother Tate. And there you see student section fired up as the home team takes a 7-point lead.
Yeah, great job here by Hassan Murray, big right tackle, and hook in the end there. Just really being able to secure your blocks and do your job and let your athletes do the work. Gets a big touchdown. Clarkston looking for a big goal line stand, didn't get it, and Adams is back in business.
There's Tate Pico, another look at it.
coming right at you in your front room here. Big number 52, Rocco Orsini, pulling, comes up there. You got Hassan Murray on the right side at right tackle, and the line is doing their job. It all starts up front, and both lines have had some success today.
Kavanaugh Dighton, Cole Jarvis unable to bring that man down. And we'll hear more about his story again. What a fabulous combination, fabulous athletic family, the Pico family here at Adams High School. So one touchdown for Tate. 21-7 now the lead for Rochester Adams.
You don't want Clarkston to be over anxious to respond. Do what you do. Make sure you stay disciplined in your scheme, and make sure you don't try to do too much, because one turnover can get this game out of hand very quickly.
Colin Timko kicks it away and through the back of the end zone. So it'll be the 20-yard line to start for Clarkston. Well, we mentioned Clarkston last Thursday got into an absolute shootout against Southfield A&T. Take a look at this, folks.
Yeah, you got passing 400, rushing 425. That's quite a contrast in offensive styles. You have Isaiah Marshall over there, who's a phenomenal football player, only a junior, one of the top quarterbacks in the country. And but again, Clarkston did not panic, and they stayed true to their run game and got at it.
The most important number on there was 62. That was the points they got to win it. Over the middle, and nobody even close to Ethan Clark, who's going to take it to the house for his second score of the night. Oh, my. Mike Hine found a wide-open Ethan Clark, and there was nobody in the same zip code. Another quick answer by Clarkston. These scoring drives are taking seconds. Another 80-yard touchdown pass. And on to try the point after is Eddie Langton, and we are all square at 21 apiece. Justin Cessante, how does that play happen?
Look, it's blown coverage. You got the running back right here. You have a linebacker that's supposed to account for him. All right, doesn't happen. He's got his eyes in the backfield. Okay, he starts out wide. You see the outside linebacker looking to pick him up, but with his shiftiness and athleticism, simply puts a move, gets to a one-on-one matchup that works out for Clarkston, and off to the races again. I mean, some big numbers here for Ethan Clark. If he's making a case for Mr. Football, tonight would be it.
Phenomenal kid, as coach says, on and off the field, gives you everything he's got in practice. So we're lucky to have him here for 4 years. You mentioned his career rushing yardage closing in on, might get to 4,000 when it's all said and done. Well, how about adding 80 receiving yards to his resume?
Yeah, really can do it all. And I'm just very surprised, Johnny, at how the Adams linebackers are playing tonight. You watch them, even from last year, some of these guys that are returning starters, they're just very stout, disciplined linebacking core. They just really have to focus in, let that go, and play one play at a time in order to get back in this game, not allow those easy touchdowns, because that's exactly what that was. It was
it's a number 4 team in the state. That play, 80 yards, total all of 11 seconds. And we are all tied at 21 apiece. Back we go again. Islanders with the football, and with a little bit of speed, DeMarcus Rouse looking for a crease. There is some laundry on the field, and that one is likely coming back. But you can see some of that speed from DeMarcus Rouse, talented young man who almost got into open territory. And we'll await the call here.
Johnny, I thought this would be a short game tonight. The clock would be running, the ball would be on the ground.
Block in the back. Receiving team. At the distance to the goal. First down.
All right, take one more look at it. Tough to see exactly who this is on, but I think Hard to say from that angle, really.
Yeah,
but as it were, Rochester Adams now is going to have to start this drive from its own 9-yard line. No problem for these offenses. It doesn't seem to matter. Pico still with it. Pico bounces to the outside. Pico up past the 20. He'll be knocked down at the 23-yard line. Tremendous athletes on both sides of the field here tonight. As we expected, Parker Pico, one of those young men.
And again, Johnny, if the defensive ends don't start showing some discipline, they're going to continue to hit that outside run play with the quarterback coming off the fake jet sweep.
Pico's got a single receiver up at the top of your screen. Fakes the handoff. Pico still with it. Parker Pico up to the 45-yard line. That'll move the sticks yet again. As I mentioned already, closing in on 150 yards rushing in this game.
Again, you're getting the defensive end tackles biting on that midline, and you're not getting a lot of discipline from the defensive end, and it's opening up. If you're Clarkston, you're going to have to adjust either by spying the quarterback with the safety, or you're going to have to change your front so that you make it a little more difficult to hit that gap so quickly on the left side or right side. They're just going back and forth, making sure they rock them to sleep, showing them the same variations of that veer.
Four receivers wide. Pico back to pass this time. Got Prescorn. Prescorn goes up and gets it at the 31-yard line. Brought down by Jalen Wilson, but that'll be a first down. First catch for the talented junior tight end.
Yeah, simple pitch and catch. You got a big body. He's always does a very good job. You watch him on film at getting his body between the defender and the ball, and it's really hard. If you're a defensive back and don't have size, you're either going to pass interfere him or that's going to happen. And that's typically what the result is with Brady Prescorn.
Ball at the 31. Pico hands it off. Couple of yards, not much more. Brother Tate Pico. Go back to Brady Prescorn. We'll talk about the matchup problems he creates for so many other defenses. You know, his physical growth got taller, but put on about 25 pounds of muscle, and now you see a lot of college coaches that are salivating at what this kid might end up being. He may not be finished growing there.
And typically you're going to see a guy that size on the line, tight end, and maybe in a flex position, but they have him out as wide receiver. So it shows his athleticism, how he can run routes and catch the football in open space.
On 2nd and 6, jet sweep. Again, couple of yards, not much more. DeMarcus Rouse, the track star. Once he gets to the edge, look out. But here's Brady Prescorn. This was his coming out party. Last year's state championship game. Had a couple of touchdown receptions in this one. And the offers really started coming in. 4 grabs, 117 yards. James Franklin of Penn State, one of the first coaches in on him. And then from then on, Ohio State, Michigan.
Yeah, and you know, what was so impressive about that game being there last year is he was the one that was sparking the offense as they were trying to fight back into the game and did a tremendous job against a lot of talented athletes, the Belleville Tigers.
Pico hands it off, and that'll be first down. 3rd and short. Gave the football to Nick Patera, plunges ahead, picks up a couple of yards. Now inside 7 minutes to play here in the second quarter, and a good sustained drive by this Adams offense.
Johnny, I'll tell you what, kudos to the offensive coordinator of Rochester Adams. He is keeping them on skates right now. Although things are working, he's not just sticking with that. He'll come out into the spread, throw it up, really loosen up the defense, and then come back to hit the counters, hit the jet sweeps, and those ends are really struggling at Clarkston. They're going to have to make an adjustment at halftime.
Hand the football off. Patera up inside the 15-yard line where he's brought down. Nick Patera, remember last year, stepped in to play quarterback for 4 games while Parker Pico was sidelined with an injury. He's bulked up this offseason too, put on about 15 pounds. Was about 6'2", 200, and he can really run.
You're definitely seeing a confidence with the Rochester Adams offensive line. They're starting to lean a little bit. And that might be a time that you want to bring Big Cole in from Clarkston to start stuffing up some holes here and slow down this offense.
Cole Dellinger, you speak of. 2nd and 6. Little play action. Pre-score! Touchdown, Highlanders!
Number 1 rule, we're in the goal line situation. Red zone as a defensive back. You have to take the inside away, and he simply just did not do that. Worried about the fade, gave up the inside. That is too easy. We have to make sure that we challenge that play and take away the inside and make them run around.
28-21, Brady Prescorn. Only a junior, getting a ton of Division I attention. And he's going to score a lot of touchdowns in his career. Not many will come easier than that one. Highlanders out in front by 7. They said, welcome to the luau tonight. Always a great theme by the student body here. They're getting after it a little bit. I'll tell you. There you go. Even I can follow along with this one. Same cheer we had back in class of 99.
There it is.
I always liked the cheers that I could follow. I'll tell you what, the very talented cheerleading program, very accomplished cheerleading program here. How about that? 3-time defending state champions here at Rochester Adams. That is pretty special. And they get that student section fired up. They show up fired up, but they keep them going. They got a reason to be fired up tonight. 28-21. We still got half the second quarter left to play. And Clarkston will get the football back. So again, you alluded to it perfectly, I thought. A lot of what they do doesn't necessarily surprise you, but they showed you enough things to make you think about, well, what if here? What if? And obviously they did a nice job of running to complement the pass game right there, and then obviously not great coverage on the touchdown to Preschool.
And look, if you're Clarkston, you have to take one thing away. So take away the dive, take away the quarterback from keeping that football in that bare option, and you have to do a better job in defense, just lining up as far as pass defense.
Mike Hine hands it off. Ethan Clark. Oh, Ethan Clark again. Up to midfield. Clark trying to cut to the outside, gets down to the 46-yard line, and Ethan Clark showing that burst of speed, almost took it to the house for another 80-yard touchdown.
Johnny, let's look at this left end right here. Okay, right now he tries to spin in and gets hooked. Okay, he has to keep that upfield hand to the upfield shoulder and really create an edge, and it just did not do that. Ethan Clark has great vision. He's going to find that hole every single time. Another big play for that young man. He's creeping in on Ian Erickson.
Another talented run. This time they fake it, and Mike Hine keeps it himself, and he got popped. I mean, he paid the price. He went in there and took a shot from number 27, Tanner Buck. Let's listen into this one. Big shot, good gang tackling. Couldn't hear it as well as we did here.
That's what we say, you bring in the wood. And
That's
he came downhill, and
wood.
that's a big characteristic of this Adams defense. You start seeing them starting to chomp at the bit a little bit.
Nick Patera and Mateo Humbert also went on the stops. Clarkston now 2nd and 4. Ball to 35. Ethan Clark around the right side. Clark bouncing back. Clark inside the 24-yard line. Ethan Clark running like a man possessed. First down, Wolves.
And what this motion is going to do for Clarkston is going to tell them two things. First, it's going to say, are they in man defense or zone? And second, I'm going to get numbers in the box so that I can match up and give our running back, one of the best running backs in the state, an opportunity to make a play. And that's what's happening, getting another big chunk of yards.
Twins receivers to the top of the screen. Hine hands it off. Ethan Clark gets past the line of defense. Clark reaching for the pylon, and he's going to be marked down at the 1-yard line. Ethan Clark shedding arm tacklers and sets up 1st and goal.
You see Adams adjust with the motion, takes the blocker out of the box, but Ethan Clark just has a great individual effort, makes number 27 miss there, and gets upfield, reaching out very close for scoring a touchdown. Great effort there.
Really shifty for his size. Again, 6'1", 200 pounds. You know, think about him. He can go 100 miles per hour. Thing that Coach Pintar says, he's so dynamic in that he doesn't have to slow down to cut.
No.
At 100 miles an hour, it stops, cuts.
No, and a great running back characteristic is going to be keeping your hips downfield as you make cuts, and he's doing a great job of that tonight.
And into the end zone, Ethan Clark pays it off. He's got 143 yards rushing on the night. Couple of touchdowns in his back pocket as well.
Well, halftime is going to be a time for defensive adjustments. Again, neither team is doing anything outside of their scheme. They are just executing at a very high level, and defenses are on their heels on both sides of the football.
Have a day, Ethan Clark. Clarkston, point after try for tying it up. Eddie Langton boots it through. 28 apiece, and now a message from the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. This special presentation of high school football on Bally Sports Detroit is presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. 28 apiece. You're seeing some fabulous running from Ethan Clark, and one of the men helping to create those holes, that's number 72, Cole Dellinger, number 3 ranked O-lineman in the state of Michigan. Recently, our Devin Gardner got a chance to break down his film as a member of the Gardner 5. Take a look.
Let's get to the film, though. Let's see. Do you ever feel sorry for what you do to other people's children? You know these kids have parents?
I know. I do feel bad sometimes.
Sisters, brothers. Look at this kid. This kid has no like, come on. Come on. And then you're like laying on him.
I try not to be too rough when
He's
I like
fighting for his life. Would you just give him a break?
honestly, I think it's like kind of cool for them. Like, they don't give up. So I think that's pretty awesome. Like, I know if I was going to get
you know Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
Like, she loves like a challenge and loves when people fight hard. So you're like, what? You love that they don't give up.
Yes, they don't give up. It's just like, it's never ending.
I like how you moving. It's all right with me. Keep doing what you do.
And then here we go. We got a 2-for-1 special here. Is this your favorite block of all time?
I actually love this play.
Like, we got a 2-for-1 special. It's on sale. Everybody's getting them. Boom, boom.
Yeah.
And both of these guys are, what are we doing?
This is the highlight of my film. This great play, yeah.
You got to put this at the beginning and play it from different angles over and over.
I should.
Like, you know, guys are struggling to get one pancake on their film. You have 2 pancakes in one play. Obviously, it's outstanding.
Well, Mel Tucker's getting a good one in Cole Dellinger. You can take a look at the top offensive lineman in the state of Michigan. And we joked around a little bit with Coach Pintar. Of course, he coached the O-line before that. We said, hey, man, how do you turn it out? I mean, Dellinger's obviously in the long line of talented O-linemen. He said, well, we start by growing them about, 6'3", 6'4", and then we get them up to about 300 pounds, and then we get good feet with them, then we start taking some of the credit for developing.
It's called God's blessing of genetics.
Fabulous young football player. Again, a good spirit about him. You can see that big smile in that video he did with Devin Gardner. I really like that we're doing that. Getting a chance to go down, watch some film with some of these kids who are going to get an opportunity to play at the next level.
It was never fun to get your butt kicked, as we were showing some kids getting dominated there by Big Cole, but at the same time, they're going to be able to say, hey, that guy that's playing on Saturdays, I played against him and I gave him my best.
Aiden O'Neal boots it away. DJ Greer back with it for the Highlanders. Greer up to the 40-yard line, still on his feet, up to the 43. DJ Greer. Hey, how about all the athletes we got in this one? You don't want to miss next week's Football Fridays game of the week. Martin Luther King taking on Cass Tech. That'll be at 7:30 on Bally Sports Detroit Extra. It's Martin Luther King at Cass Tech, 7:30, September the 16th. Bally Sports Detroit Extra. It's also on the Bally Sports app, Bally Sports Plus. It's all presented by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. That is going to be another raucous environment. Standing room only.
You're talking about a lot of Division I athletes on one field. That place will be packed, not only with spectators, but college scouts.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you tonight's scoring drives. We'll come back to it in just a second. And Parker Pico swallowed up by the Clarkston defense. Nice job getting pressure right up the middle. Jamel McKinney, number 54, in on the stop. Again, look at those scoring plays. He started fast, started furious, 80, 53, 67, 69. Then started to get a little more pedestrian outside of Ethan Clark's 80-yard touchdown scamper. Tons of offense. We'll compute all the stats and bring those to you coming up at halftime. But what a showcase here on a Friday night from Adams High School. Pico, no man's land. Clarkston defense, again, look at the gang tackling in there, creating a mess. It's one thing Coach Pintar talked about. You may not make the play, but get in there, stay sound, create a mess.
And now you're starting to see adjustments and improvements. The DN is staying home. Number 53 you see there is staying home, making sure he's doing his job, right? And we're starting to stop now 2 plays in a row, Parker Pico from getting outside the box. And that's very key to shut down one element of that play action, all those different things that Adams is starting to throw at Clarkston. They're starting to find a little bit of success and discipline and just staying home and doing their job.
Nick Washenko in on the stop. Pico back to pass, going over the middle, overthrows his intended target, looking for Patera. But again, that Clarkston defense able to get there. That's going to bring up 4th and long. And they're going to have to punt this football away. So Clarkston forcing a 3 and out from Rochester Adams.
That's one of the biggest plays of the game because you're getting the ball back before halftime. And what do you do as a coach with this crazy shootout happening? Do you go ahead and press, or do you say, hey, we're going to get to the halftime, make some adjustments on defense, and get back to what we're doing? If I'm Clarkston, I'm going to go push it. We're in the enemy territory right now, and we need to go get points every opportunity that we have.
Tate Pico will handle the punting responsibilities. Ball is loose. Pico picks it up, able to get it away. And I'll tell you what, all things considered, you take that. Ball comes to rest at the 38-yard line. But Tate Pico, the sure-handed, usually sure-handed, plays a little running back slot back there to punt. And that time, it's a little confusion.
Yeah, bad snap here, a little high. You see how composed he is, right? And that's what we call a savvy football player, right? He knows the situation. A lot of guys would just jump on the ball. I mean, you just say you're strictly a punter. You might jump on the ball, kick it out of bounds, whatever you have to do. But he does a great job of getting that off. And that's a huge play. You're going to come back to that, Johnny, and say, hey, if Clarkston would have got that ball, Adams gets a stop here. That's a big play here. Change a little bit of momentum of the game.
No question. If he falls on it, it's inside the 15-yard line. But again, dual sport athlete, I emphasize the word athlete. Knew what to do there and got him out of trouble. Now Mike Hine, flush from the pocket. Hine tiptoeing the sidelines. Picks up a couple yards before he's knocked out of bounds.
I really like when Clarkston starts getting Mike Hine outside the pocket, booting. You get that motion again to see what type of defense they're in. You spread them out, and he's got enough speed to get to the edge and pick up those yards. Each and every time he runs the football, he gets 5-6 yards. That's a big time on first down.
Again, if Ben Clarkson's back up and gotten reps at practice these last couple of seasons, but this is his first season of being the guy. And that's his first season, Coach Pintar being the guy as well. 2nd and 9. Clock is stopped at 1:50 to play here in the second quarter. High, got his man at the 40. Nice job of laying the wood. Mateo Humbert came in to finish off the play, number 39 for the Highlanders. Jarvis in on the reception.
Yeah, and I really like this open field tackle here by Mr. DJ Greer. I mean, it is not an easy task to take an athlete one-on-one in space. You have to get downhill, keep your eyes on the hips, and you have to make a great tackle while everybody else is running inside out. You see Humpert coming there laying the wood.
And we do have a timeout on the field. And Clarkston takes the timeout, so they want to talk this over with a big 3rd and 8 coming up. Hey, the Hometown Showdown is a chance for your high school to be crowned the best Football Fridays fan base. You can vote now on the weekly poll on the Bally Sports Detroit Twitter page. The winning school gets bragging rights and more. The poll closes on Monday. Bally Sports Detroit Football Fridays are presented by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. These two student sections here tonight certainly make a case for it. Whoever owns the Hawaiian shirt business here in town made a decent profit this week. Both sides.
Well, a lot of schools in Michigan and communities are really based on how the football team's doing. It sets the tone for the school year and it sets the tone for the student body. You love to see the unity out here, everybody cheering on for their favorite high school football players.
Makes you miss it, that's for sure. 3rd and 8 out of the timeout. Mike Hine. Ethan Clark goes in motion. Empty backfield now. He's got 5 receivers from which to choose. Hine going over the middle. Ethan Clark got behind his man. Clark inside the 15-yard line before he's finally brought down. This kid can play.
First and foremost, great job by the offensive line, picking up the blitz, picking up the pressure. They motion Ethan Clark out of the backfield to create a matchup that they like. You got a man-off situation. He's way deep, and Ethan Clark just simply is an athlete. He runs by him and makes a tremendous catch. Great throw by Mike Hine.
Minute to play, second quarter. Clarkson hands the football off. A nice job by Nick Patera to bring down the ball carrier, Cole Church. And Clarkson's going to take another timeout here. And Ethan Clark is having a whale of a first half, and I give a ton of credit to the quarterback, Mike Hine. Again, you mentioned the offensive line giving him time, but he's been right on the money with those downfield throws, something that maybe he didn't quite have in his arsenal a season ago. But now, here in his senior campaign as the primary signal caller, putting it right on the money.
And Coach talked about him owning it, and although this seems like, hey, the guy's wide open, or hey, you're throwing to 6'7", or hey, you got a great running back you're throwing to, you have to put those on the dime. Rochester Adams is in the area, and kudos and hats off to both offensive coordinators. I mean, they're playing a great game of chess. They're staying true to who they are, but they're giving every variation to keep the defense honest, and it's really given both defenses tonight a problem, as you can see by the score.
Ethan Clark might be rewriting the record books tonight in a variety of categories. Look at this Clarkson offense. Can't do much better than that, folks. They've covered 80 yards every time.
Clarkson really likes this rocket screen, bubbles out of here.
Hine rolling to his left. Hine throwing it with zip. Touchdown, Clarkston. Cole Jarvis. Whew, Clarkston back in front by a score. And Mike Hine with the little zip on this pass, Justin.
Yeah, you're going to have man-to-man down here. All right, the corner looks like his eyes are back at the quarterback. You just cannot look. He falls down. Both defensive backs had their eyes at the quarterback. And when you're playing man-to-man, you have to have your eyes on the hips. You have to go where the man's going. And that was an easy pitch and catch for Clarkston. Great job with the variety of play calling. Get them down there and really respond very well. We talked about 2 minutes left in the half and what are they going to do with it. And they took it down and put big points on the board to swing momentum their way.
Well, that's the secondary. It looks like the defender falls down, and he does, and Cole Jarvis, hey, that touchdown would be good on Sundays.
When you have a running quarterback that's an athlete that boots out, you are always worried about the threat of him going. And when you're in man-to-man, it's much easier for that quarterback to get outside and go. I think they were a little bit worried. They were playing up, expecting him to maybe to take off. And, again, defensive back falls down in an easy pitch and catch.
I mean, take a look at the time of possession on each of their 5 scoring drives. They've gone from 11 seconds to 2:03. You add all that up, that's 6 minutes and 19 seconds by my count. And 5 touchdowns.
I don't know, when I played in high school at Catholic Central, we would hold the ball for about 10 minutes. So I've never seen any scoring drives like that, but very impressive. Again, I expect both defenses to make adjustments, get challenged by their coaches at halftime. What are you guys going to do? How are you going to respond? Because one of the defenses have to step up and change this game's outcome.
Aiden O'Neal kicks it away for Clarkston. Back deep for the Highlanders. DJ Greer. Greer spinning. Corral brought down at the 24-yard line. DJ Greer running hard, but a nice job by the Clarkston special teams to keep him from breaking loose. Hey, coming up at the half in about 36 seconds from now, we'll let you know we'll let you get to know the Pico brothers of Clarkston. The twins, Parker and Tate, they caught up with our very own Natalie Kerwin. And we'll also look ahead to next week's matchup between one of high school's biggest rivalries. We're talking about Cass Tech and Martin Luther King. That's going to be a fabulous game to call next week. This one will be tough to top, let me tell you that, partner.
Sure will.
Can Adams answer quickly? Pico to the outside.
Let's talk a little time management here, right? You have your timeouts. You want to get the ball to the outside so you can get out of bounds, conserve time. You have the athletes to do it. And if you don't have anything there, most likely you're going to get some deep safeties that are giving help over top of man-to-man coverage or a zone. So Parker Pico is going to have a chance to take off for a long run. They really can get themselves in a scoring position with their firepower.
Gavin Ferris on the reception that time, picked up a couple of yards.
He has Desmond Stevens covering Brady Preakscore right here. It's a great matchup.
Pico looking that way. Pico picked off. Clarkston going the other way. Cole Jarvis. Oh my. Read the eyes of the quarterback, jumped the route, took it in for the pick 6. What in the world is going on?
Yeah, great job there by safety, just eyeing down the quarterback. And again, we talked about staying outside if you're going to go press it with 44 seconds, because otherwise you're going to be conservative and take a knee. And they went down the seam and got in trouble. Cole Jarvis, a tremendous athlete. He's been doing this as a ball hawk all year, and he just keeps his eyes on the quarterback, breaks on the football there at free safety, and he takes off for a big-time touchdown going up 2 scores right before half.
I mean, that is a big swing. He's looking for DeMarcus Rouse, who's got some speed, but again, great job jumping that route, Cole Jarvis. And Jarvis really, he wasn't dealing with any problems until he got to the end zone. Pico came in to lay a lick late.
And again, as a coach, I'm sure they're telling their quarterback, make sure you stay conservative, stay out of bounds. If you don't have anything, throw it away or go and run it. And they push the seam, and that's always a dangerous place because you have safety help there, especially in this situation. You're going to usually play a 5 under Mabel, which means you're going to have man-to-man underneath on the receivers and backs. You're going to have 2 safeties playing a free half of the field to make sure nothing gets behind them. And he eyed that down, and Cole Jarvis was off to the races with a huge play. The score, Johnny, it really is flabbergasted.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, Cole Jarvis, he's got good size. Again, plays wide receiver as well. 6'2", pretty good size. So when he gets in that defensive secondary, able to use that size and went up and high-pointed the football, which me being a former receiver, not at a high level, but being a former receiver, they said go up and get it. Yeah. Especially when you play defensive secondary as a two-way player. Went up there and got it.
Again, and that's the danger of throwing to the middle of the field, especially when you're pressed for time. You're in your own territory, and they paid for it.
So Rochester Adams came into this football game with a dominant win over Orchard Lake St. Mary's in week 1. They won that game 42-14, then had a 34-18 win over Rochester last Thursday, so 2-0 to begin the season. And again, really eyed this, rivalry game as kind of setting the tone for making another deep run, especially with this OAA red matchup against Clarkston. But Clarkston, it's a tough place to come and play on the road and to hang in there. They're doing more than just hanging in.
No doubt about it. And if you're on the Rochester Adams sideline as a coach, you have to make sure that everybody leaves this half behind them. They start off 0-0, go and do what you do. The game's not out of reach. Obviously some big plays, big momentum swings here in the last couple minutes. But you really, there's a state of shock there. There's no doubt about it.
O'Neal this time kicks it short, and the Highlanders are going to get the football at about the 23-yard line. So let's take a look at some of the rankings in the state of Michigan. I mentioned Rochester came in. Again, preseason they were top 5. They'd worked their way up to 3rd in this state. Clarkston not seen here in the top 10, but Clarkston comes in at number 13 with a 1-1 record. Of course, they lost to Davison in the battle with the Big House to open the season, but there's going to be some movement on this certainly throughout the year. But I'm not sure if a lot of people thought that Adams would have trouble early in the season.
Yeah, I like Warren De La Salle at number 1. They have a tremendous defense. They've been locking and reloading, playing the tough Central Division. West Bloomfield with tons of athletes across the board. And you got Caledonia in there. Saw them against Rockford last year. Mason McKenzie, tremendous quarterback, has all the tools, is leading his team in the top 10 in the state. It's exciting for Caledonia's community.
A lot of good football programs across the state. And again, here on our Football Fridays Games of the Week, we're going to try to bring you as many different programs as we can. I believe what's going on here is Coach Petrilli had seen the clock had dwindled down as Parker Pico keeps it himself. And Pico up near the 40-yard line. So I think Coach Petrito was upset because they had let the clock run down. They lost about 15 seconds. So you saw the adjustment at the bottom of your screen. They added about 15 seconds to give them about 20 seconds to work with here to close the quarter. Petrito wants to try to cut into this deficit.
Oh, yeah, you're at home. And if you're going to take care of the ball, throwing outside and running with the quarterback, go ahead and do it. Just don't throw down the middle of the field and allow one of those safeties to ball hawk it and have another turnover.
So Adams spends a timeout here. They still have 2 left. And again, ball at the 39-yard line, so they've got an opportunity. They've got a little bit of time on their side. And again, with Parker Pico, he's got that big play capability. So we'll look to see what they might try to do on the outside. And again, number 22, we keep talking about Brady Prescorn. Pretty good speed, but he's got that great size if they can try to get a mismatch out on the outside. Of course, Clarkston, they certainly have number 22 circled. I don't think they're going to let anything easy. But
and you see Desmond Stevens up here pressing him so he can't get off the line here. And if you're going to run it as a quarterback, run it right now.
There he is, rolling to Prescorn's side. Fires it low, unable to bring it in. Was Prescorn. But again, you mentioned good coverage. Desmond Stevens right there.
And probably out of all the cornerbacks he's seen, except the Belleville game this year, he has not seen a long, strong cornerback like Desmond Stevens. I mean, when you have long arms, you get on it, it's really hard to get off the line and to get into your route because you got a big body and you give a big surface for that corner to get hands on. And so that's exactly what's happening here. And you saw that on the touchdown, Desmond wasn't on Brady Prescorn.
Pico keeps it himself. Parker Pico got blockers. Up to the 43. They're going to use another timeout. 3.5 seconds to play. Look, Coach Petrito here. And let me put you in that huddle.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to take a shot right now, right? You got 3 seconds, so you're not going to kick a field goal. I love the play call. If you're going to go right now with the quarterback. I'd like to see him to do it on that last drive, but you're going to have to take a shot, and you got the guy to do it with. I would really try to overload one side so you really pull the defense to that side and you get more isolation. And I might even try to get Brady Prescorn more in a slot or flex position so it's easier to get him the ball. Obviously, you're not as worried about throwing down the middle of the field here. You got to, make sure we don't throw an interception, but if you do, get back and make sure you tackle the defender.
Another guy they leaned on a lot in the early portion of the season is Nick Patera. Again, he plays all over. He can play at the running back, tight end, also slot position. So number 9 would be another guy to watch out for.
Yeah, and here on defense, you want to make sure that you're protecting the goal line. You're knocking the ball down, not tipping it up so nothing bad happens. And you really want the defensive linemen to pin their ears back and get to the quarterback.
Drew Hefner lined up at the top of the screen. All sorts of time for Parker Pico. Reaches back, looking into the end zone. And that was going to be picked off. So back play in center field. The Clarkston secondary.
Johnny, that was a 55-yard throw. You think he's a baseball player? And you got to take that shot. I'm just surprised they didn't take the shot to their big 6'7" wide receiver, Brady Prescorn. Thought they might try to get the ball to him.
I think he was just, Desmond Stevens just had him covered too well, so we had to go back to the other side. And again, aired it out there. He was looking for Drew Hefner, but a great job by Clarkston D just being right there. Jalen Wilson able to come down with the INT. And Clarkston with a 42-28 halftime lead. Let's send it down to Natalie Kerwin.
Yeah, here with Coach Pintar now. Coach, in a half that was all offense. Did Cole Jarvis just make the play of the half?
Yeah, we needed that spark. Obviously, our defense has had a little trouble stopping them so far. So for us to be able to get that interception, that pick 6 from Cole was really what we needed at that time to get us excited going into halftime.
10 total touchdowns right now. Did you expect the game to be a bloodbath like it is?
After last week, I don't know. Anything could happen. So we're ready for whatever. We just got to make sure that we keep competing. We got to get off the field. We had a couple times where we had 3rd and 4th down opportunities, and we didn't get off the field. So we got to make sure we get those key stops and get off the field.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Johnny?
Well, I imagine both these locker rooms will be pretty busy. A lot to discuss, a lot to be pleased with, a lot to work on as well. At least we got 24 minutes of high school football to come. That's the beauty of it all. Visitors with a 2-touchdown lead. You're watching high school football on Bally Sports.
Welcome back to Rochester Adams. What a shootout we have here. Clarkston leading this one 42-28. Now you may have heard the name Pico quite a bit tonight in this first half. Parker and Tate, they are twins. I had to investigate into this twin tuition thing that I had some suspicions about. Take a look. Parker Pico, Tate Pico. You guys just came off the football field together.
Yep.
Play baseball together.
Yeah.
Now you're interviewing together.
Yep.
I mean, you guys do everything together?
For the most part. Pretty much. It's like your friend's always there. Yeah. Have fun all the time.
I love it. Okay, well, with you two being twins, I feel like you hear that twin tuition is a thing.
Yeah.
I want to play a little game. I want to test that theory.
Let's do it.
All right, so we got some whiteboards to work with here. I got yours here, Tate.
Uh-oh.
You should have yours, Parker.
Yep.
First question. If Parker could only listen to one musical artist for the rest of his life, who would it be? 1, 2, 3.
Thomas Rhett.
Oh, Shakira. Whoa.
Whoa.
Okay, 2 different ballparks.
Yeah, whoa. I don't know. I put Shakira because my favorite song is Hips Don't Lie.
Hips don't lie. Okay.
Yeah.
Question 2. What would Tate's spirit animal be?
Oh. I'm ready.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
There it is.
Okay, why a lion?
I just think, vicious, strong. I don't know, just king of the jungle, man. That's what I was gonna say. King of the jungle.
Okay. Question 3, this one's fun.
All right.
Parker's celebrity crush.
Oh. I think about this one. I don't know too many celebrities.
You don't know your own celebrity crush?
No, I don't know. I forget her name. I know her face. Oh, all right. I'm just gonna put this.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
I went J-Lo. Oh, J-Lo's a good one.
Okay, J-Lo, girl from the Baywatch.
Oh, I know what girl you're
Dark
talking
hair.
about.
Dark hair.
Yeah, I just don't know her name.
All right,
I had a good guess.
Okay, so you know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I do.
Even if I don't get it, as long
Yeah,
as you do.
yeah.
Okay.
You can back me up on that one.
Girl from Baywatch. All right. Question 4. What is Tate's most embarrassing trait?
Oh. I don't even know.
What, you think you're perfect?
No.
I'm messing with you.
You got one. Say. Okay.
All right. 1,
Oh, that, yeah.
2, 3.
It kind of goes hand in hand. Harry.
Harry.
I'm saying my lack of
stupidity.
What? You're so you're not stupid?
Yeah,
No. I guess that answers it. I should get my stupidity. I don't know. I feel like I go over top on some things.
Fair enough. All right. This last one.
Uh-oh. We gotta get one more right, Tate. Come on.
Pick a number between 1 and 250.
Got it.
You got it?
Zero's in the hundreds? No. Oh. Got it wrong.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
I went 183.
Wow.
It's a bold number. I know why you went 5.
All right, we got one right. I don't.
We'll make up for it on the field.
Well, twin tuition may not be real. I was a little disappointed with only one right between both of them, but they were a fun duo to sit down with. So more to come after the half. Clarkston leading this one 42-28. Rochester Adams band putting on a show for the crowd. We'll be back coming up with more at the half. Football Fridays on Bally Sports Detroit are brought to you by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Think Ford first. And by Lead Prep Academy, a postgraduate high school program for football and basketball student athletes. You won't want to miss next week's Football Fridays Game of the Week as Martin Luther King takes on Cass Tech at 7:30 on Bally Sports Detroit Extra. That's Martin Luther King at Cass Tech at 7:30 next Friday, September 16th on Bally Sports Detroit Extra, the Bally Sports app, and Bally Sports Plus, presented by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. 42-28 is our score at the half. More from Rochester Adams coming up. Stay with us after the game when Justin Rose and Sydney Carriel of state champs recap all of tonight's Michigan high school football action from around the state, along with post-game reaction here in Rochester on Football Fridays Overtime, powered by state champs. Bally Sports Detroit Football Fridays are brought to you by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Johnny and Justin are back after this. It's 42-28 here at Rochester.
Football Fridays on Bally Sports Detroit are brought to you by Figer Law. Nobody knows the law like we do. Figer Law. And by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Think Ford first. What an atmosphere here at Adams High School. Let's take a look at the first half stats. There were plenty of them. Justin, what I want to ask you is, you know, high school football, not everybody plays a bunch of two-way guys, but how might this affect some of the two-way players when you look at that time of possession disparity?
Yeah, you have time of possession and turnovers, obviously a big factor in game, but this time of possession actually is not working in Adams' favor. You have 7 players that go both ways for Rochester Adams and 4 true players for Clarkston. And that's going to take a toll on them as this game continues to go and the pressure being down by 2 touchdowns. They're staying on the field a lot offensively, defensively compared to Clarkston with their 4 two-way players. And Adams really has to respond on this first drive of the second half.
No question. A lot of fresh legs will be out there for the Clarkston Wolves, who are enjoying a surprising 2-touchdown lead on the road. Adams will get the football first to start the third quarter. We bring it to you next on Bally Sports. We are just about to get the third quarter underway. Let's get downstairs. Natalie Kerwin standing by with Highlanders head coach Tony Petrito. Nat?
Yeah, thanks, Johnny. Coach Petrito, that had to be one of the most wild first halves you've had in your career.
Yeah, that's not really how we like to play. I mean, that's not been our style ever since I've been here. We don't mean to track meet with those guys, so we got to short up on D and not make mistakes on O.
What did you tell your senior quarterback after he threw that pick six towards the end there?
Love you, and I believe in you, and that was more on me. Bad call. It's important for us to demonstrate accountability as coaches, so that was on me, not him.
What were the adjustments that you guys talked about as far as defensively here, what you're going to do?
Well, that's not really my jurisdiction. I trust Coach McFarland to do a great job of fixing what we got going, and I think we're going to play much better on defense in the second half.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Johnny?
I appreciate it, Nat. You know, they talk about their team motto there at Adams is one more. Not necessarily one more game to win a state championship, but one more opportunity to get better. And they've got an opportunity in front of them, 2 quarters to do it. Parker Pico's got to lead them.
Yeah, big games, got to take care of the football. I know Parker Pico knows that. And you can see the frustration. And that saying, defense wins championships, is true. And he knows if they're going to go make a run back to the championship or win this game tonight, they have to get back to a characteristic that he's known very well over his career, and that's playing great defense and taking care of the football.
Pico, more than 200 yards rushing on the ground. The 2 interceptions. Again, the 1 pick six. Cole Jarvis, that was a big swing of momentum. But again, a lot of football left. Hey, 70 points were scored in the first 2 quarters. So if the second half, you know, there's going to be plenty of opportunities for both of these teams. We'll just see who adjusts and who can handle it.
And although coach isn't seeing what he wants on Adams' side of defense and offense, as far as just taking care of the football and playing a more stout defense, these are games that build character, and you find out what the kids are made of. You find out what's deep down in their heart, and we know Adams is going to claw back. See what Clarkston can do strategy-wise if they change up their scheme offensively, if they get a little bit more conservative and try to hold on to football, or still try to really step on the throat.
Aiden O'Neal will kick things off for the Clarkston Wolves. Back deep. DeMarcus Rouse and DJ Greer. It'll be DJ Greer. Pass to 20. Greer got a step. Greer up near midfield.
Johnny, they have 2 guys. One of them's a track star, and they continue to kick it to him around the 10-yard line. I think Clarkston needs to be careful because you're starting to see a little bit. These guys can move, and you start kind of see them getting going here, starting to find some seams, and that's an ideal place. They're pinning them by the numbers as far as the kickoff, but you're getting some really good blocks up front, and he has some long stride speed there, David Greer, and makes a big play, exactly what they needed coming out the gate here in the second half.
Colin Cortman doing a nice job, plays a will linebacker, but also on special teams. Did a nice job closing in and knocking DJ Greer out because he was about 1 step or 1 move and taking that one to the house. Pico faked it to Nick Patera, keeps it himself. He'll be up near the 50-yard line.
And again, you see that zip motion. That means that slot is coming across for that fake jet. And that typically, being a former linebacker, that typically will make you draw outside, step outside a little bit, take a false step, and that's opening it up for Parker to get up through the middle behind those big offensive linemen.
Pico keeps it himself again, breaks through an arm tackle. First down, that'll move the chains. Take a look at this athleticism from number 11. Pulling those socks up high.
Watch number 51, Big Brenton Waters here. He does a great job of pulling from the backside and getting a key block, and that's good vision by Parker Pico right there, just coming right off the butt. I mean, that's exactly how that play should look, and you get a good effort there, moving the chains.
Kevin Dighton took a cleat to the face trying to bring him down. This time, hands it off to Nick Patera around the left side. Patera picks up a couple yards. Second down.
Really savvy play of giving that at the last second, because Parker Pico could have pulled it back, but you have to be careful because that's how turnovers happen. You don't want to drop that football.
As a look at Nick Patera's having a pretty good night here. Again, Pico's been the featured back, keeping it himself, but that's been the recipe all season long. This time, Humbert up the middle. Mateo Humbert fighting for yardage. He's going to be about a yard shy of the first, maybe a yard and a half.
I'll tell you, Parker Bullock and Rocco Orsini down there at the guards. You got the center, Liam Beatty, coach speak very highly of. I believe was voted captain this year. But you're starting to see Clarkston's defensive linemen squeeze in. They're at one techniques, at a double I, and really trying to take away that dive. And you're still getting some yardage. I mean, the offensive lineman for Rochester Adams doing a great job firing off the football and getting a push.
Third and 2.
I'd keep it in our playmakers' hands. Keep it in Parker Pico's hands.
Pico back to pass. Steps up in the pocket. Pico's still with it. Shakes one tackler. Pico leaning forward. Moves the chains. Gain of 5.
And Johnny, I like this play call, right? You keep it in his hands. Say, okay, we're either going to run it off the veer action, or we're going to go ahead and drop back and give you an option to pass or run, and that's exactly what happened. You're getting a lot of man coverage, a lot of bailing out from the linebackers and defensive backs, and gives them an open space. Very shifty young man.
Ball now down to the 27-yard line. Hands the football off. Jake Sukar runs up the back of his lead blocker, picks up about 6 yards on first down.
And this drive is not only so important that you get points, but if you start dominating up front. You're starting to see a little bit more of a physical play there by Rochester Adams. The linemen are starting to lean, and that's a great deal of confidence that's given to your offense. You're holding on to the football, slowing down the scoring a little bit, and kind of get your identity back for the rest of the football game.
Oh, one thing Coach Petrito talked about with us on our conference call, he said, best way to keep, try to limit Clarkston's, offensive prowess is keep him on the sideline. We got to run ball control here. Now, first drive of the third quarter, they've been able to do that here on this possession. They want to try to chew up some clock. And that'll bring up third down, as Mateo Humbert picked up a couple of yards.
Yeah, and in this third and short, you really have your playbook open. I mean, not a bad time. You're going to go for a fourth down. Doubt if they're going to kick the field goal. Not a good. Maybe take a shot. You're not a play action, a tight end dump. Even try to get it outside because you've been banging it inside. You're starting to see those tackles squeeze down quite a bit.
On third and 2, fakes it to Patera, keeps it himself, right at the sticks. Clarkston defense was there. They might have gotten to him just before, but like you said, this is likely fourth down territory, but they're going to make him earn it. That's going to bring up fourth down. That Clarkston defense doing a nice job plugging up the middle and keeping Pico to about a yard and a half on third and 2.
And Big Kavanaugh, middle linebacker for Clarkston, Kavanaugh Denton, he did a great job of filling. Got up a little slow. Great job of filling that.
Take a look, number 72 in white is in the football game. Cody Dellinger, they bring him in short yardage situations. Try to plug up that defense. Pico looking on the right side, got stood up at the line of scrimmage. Did they get him? Kavanaugh Dighton was the first one to meet him. It'll depend on the spot. Clarkston believes they have held. Adams believes they've gotten it. They're going to measure this sucker. Kavanaugh Dighton, number 11, came up and laid the stick on number 11 in gray. It's a keeper all by himself, and again, good pursuit.
11-on-11 violence there. Kavanaugh again filling a hole there. Kavanaugh Denton, and really goes untouched. Those running backs wanted to pick up that first linebacker that shows, and they just pass him up.
This is a huge play right here. Oh, he is short.
Oh, my goodness. Huge.
Kavanaugh Dighton comes in, and with a big stop, here you've got the Highlanders coming out, sustaining a long drive. They get all the way down here inside the red zone and now turn the football over on downs.
Again, number 11 does a great job of just reading his keys, getting downhill, and he goes untouched. The running back should have picked up the first linebacker shows. And I'll tell you, even Cole Dellinger being in, he's going to take up a lot of attention and really hold up some of those offensive linemen. So great job by number 11. Middle linebacker, leader of the defense, getting downhill and making a huge play to swing the momentum. Again, Adams was pressing. They were holding the ball, doing exactly what they wanted off to the first possession of the second half. And Clarkston again responds.
Remember, you asked Coach Pintar earlier in the week, who's your emotional leader on defense? And he said, it's Kavanaugh Dighton. And Dighton with the big plays, he puts a headset on and will watch his offense go back to work as Ethan Clark, then the bell cow for the Wolves here tonight.
I really appreciate that play call. The formation was 4 to one side, really spread out, and just gave their athlete, running back Ethan Clark, opportunity to work in some space, get a big chunk on first down.
Trips receivers here on the near side. Ethan Clark lined up to the right. Mike Hine.
Expect same play this way now.
There it is, nothing fancy. Foot in the ground, Ethan Clark, first down up to the 36-yard line. What kind of night is this young man having? He's doing it all.
Really good change up of formation by the offense coordinator. You get that flex tight end coming down and really cracking down on the D-end, and there's nobody to contain Ethan Clark.
Now they show 4 receiver look on the top of the screen. Ethan Clark swings out as a lead blocker. Mike Hine. Hine up past the 45-yard line. So let's take a look at what Ethan Clark's been doing for this Wolves offense tonight. 7 carries, 151. And then take a look at what he's done out of the backfield as a pass catcher.
And there's some guys that just jump off the chart with their athleticism, which he's definitely that, but he's a football player, and he's showing every aspect of that tonight, leading his team in a big lead here in the third quarter against Adams.
Going to be interesting to see where he ends up playing football on Saturdays. Not committed at this point, but now committed to picking up another first down for Clarkston, and that'll keep the clock moving as we're inside 5 minutes to play in the third quarter. So really, if you're Clarkston, you came out of the half, you said, look, we got to come up with the defensive stop. Weren't able to do it as Adams was able to come down and get inside the 20, but eventually they got the stop. What do we always talk about? Bend, don't break. Now they've got an opportunity to chew some clock. This third quarter, hey, that first quarter took a long time to get going because it was touchdown, 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 touchdown. Now this third quarter evaporated pretty quick, and now time is against the home team Highlanders. Mike Hine keeping it on the ground. Flag comes in. Hine knocked out of bounds, might be an illegal formation.
And look, Johnny, there's a balance, right? You're coming out at Clarkston, you say, hey, we want to be conservative a little bit so we can hold ball control. And how they've done that is they switched up a formation. They've ran 4 plays with 4 wide receivers to one side, overloading. They're getting space for Mike Hine and Ethan Clark.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Really the only negative play on this drive for Clarkston was legal procedure. Hines still looking for a little bit of an explanation. Oh, it was a legal shift, I'm sorry. Yeah. You got two men in motion at the same time, and that is a no-no, 5-yard violation.
You still see Clarkston has the edge there because of that formation, and Adams better figure out how to respond. I would widen out that defensive end on that flex.
Ethan Clark showing the shiftiness. Clark at the 30-yard line, inside the 20-yard line. Ethan Clark, you see that first move he made when he got the football. A little sidestep, and then he was into open pasture.
And again, you're going to see how important defensive ends are. Right there getting off the ball, he over pursues it, gets upfield too quick. He should get upfield. He was released free and knows something's up and squeeze down the line, and you see a tremendous move, very elusive running back in Ethan Clark. He just can run the football.
Closing in on 200 yards rushing to go along with 137 out of the backfield as a receiver. Remember, this kid rushed for more than 200 yards a week ago against Southfield A&T. 1st and 10, ball at the 18-yard line. Again, Clarkston trying to spread out that Adams defense. This time to hand the football off, and met immediately was Cole Church. Hello, meet Jake Sukar. Nice stop from Sukar. We saw as a ball carrier a little bit earlier in this quarter, he can get it done defensively as well.
Yeah, really good job. He's a strong safety, so they most likely brought him on a blitz, and he just beat the guy simply and got upfield. That's a great tackle for loss.
Beat Dellinger. Sukar goes 6 foot 165. He's giving up almost 135, 140 pounds.
That's where you use your speed, and I guarantee Dellinger is going to remember that.
We're going to go back and watch that one tomorrow, I promise you. Hine. Option pitch. Ethan Clark got the first down. Clark inside the 10-yard line.
You see here, they're going to option number 7, which is actually the strong safety here, okay? And they're using a little bit of their own medicine against them, a little bit of their scheme. Sees the option, nobody's outside, corners ran off, and that outside linebacker has to run and make up ground. Really taking some big chunks, taking care of the football, and using a lot of time in possession, exactly what Clarkston wants.
1st and goal, ball at the 9-yard line. Ethan Clark met at the line of scrimmage, nothing doing.
And Johnny, this is where you need your leaders to step up, right? Tate Pico right now makes a big play there. You guys have to really, championship football team, Rocco Orsini coming off, that's a surprise.
Now a little confusion out here is that's now 4th and 2. Thought he picked up the first down on the play before that one. So now it's a big play here, 4th and 2. Ball at the 10-yard line. They lost a yard. They line up, hand it off. Ethan Clark leaning forward. I don't know if he got there. Once again, it's going to come down to a spot, almost the same spot on the field, on the other side of the field, as Adams had about 4 minutes ago. They're going to give it to him. Don't even bring out the chains. Ethan Clark leaning forward, got the first.
And the coach in me said, hey, maybe fake that to Ethan Clark, pull it with the quarterback. But when you have a running back that runs like this and just gets yards, never's falling backwards, this is who you give it to. Just a simple ISO. Number 27 from Rochester Adams got in the backfield very quickly. Tanner Buck, they were still able to get the first down.
Lucas Bowman with that good lead block to pave the way. This time, Clark wrapped up, not going anywhere. Nowhere to go. That was Rocco Orsini, number 52, right there in the middle to wrap him up. Kid plays hard.
Johnny, they have more time of possession on this drive than they did of all the first half.
That's incredible. That is incredible when you think about it. And looking to get in the end zone for the first time here in the second half. High handoff. Cole Church with speed. Church looking for the edge. Church got down to the 3-yard line. That's going to bring up third down. Cole Church, the senior wideout, got some speed. Good job by that Adams defense to string him up.
Every team has a great two-point play. This is where I would dial that two-point play up, even though it's for a touchdown, because those two-point plays are usually pick plays to get some confusion on the defense. You haven't seen a pass yet, really. They haven't had to. Expect something interesting here from Clarkston.
Fakes the handoff to Ethan Clark. Mike Hine in trouble. Hine's going to be brought down for a sack. Tanner Buck, number 27, in there to blow up the play.
I'm kicking the field goal here, Johnny, if I'm coach.
Great pursuit. It was Parker Pico, the first man in there to disrupt the play, and then there to finish it off. Tanner Buck, the senior. A sure tackle got him right around the waist as Tate Pico looks on. So now on 4th down, 4th and 6, they are going to bring out the field goal try, and Eddie Langton, chance to make this a 3-possession game. Tough angle from this close. Langton, did he get it through? Yes, he did. Knuckled her home.
Huge 3 points. Great call by coach.
Eddie Langton. Good snap, good hold. Good kick. 45-28. Clarkston leads. There are a few better atmospheres than at a high school football game on a Friday night. Let's send it down to Natalie Kerwin. What has this group so wild, Nat?
Yeah, Johnny, this is the place to be down here, okay? The Adams student section is nuts. And you know what I've learned, what gets them fired up? A T-shirt cannon. I got the principal, assistant principal here that normally handles this duty, but Natty K's taking over tonight, all right? I'm firing one off. I'm aiming for you guys. Come on, let's go.
Goes up in the tuba section. Little shot one out of the arena. Oh, reload.
Loaded, baby. That's how we do it. All right, here we go.
Hey, not bad. Oh,
that almost went over the bleachers. I was aiming for you guys.
Oh my God! Did you fill out that liability waiver? I pray you did. Good stuff down there.
You hit the tuba. you hit the tuba.
A xylophone? Sousaphone.
I played the triangle.
Did you?
Yeah, that was my specialty.
Oh man, what a great student section here at Rochester Adams. Obviously, I know they'd like to get a little more fired up with their football team winning. Still got a lot of time, but I don't even know if I'd say a lot of time right now. They still got time. That third quarter almost all but evaporated here. Just 28 seconds left here in the third, and Clarkston able to come down, put a nice drive together, got a 4th down conversion. Or didn't get the 4th down conversion. They had to kick the field goal to put them up 3 possessions. There's DJ Greer looking for an opportunity to break one open. This time, nice job by the special teams unit from Clarkston to stop him inside the 20.
Now, look, I think a little bit of sense of urgency is going to come in here for the Rochester Adams staff, and that's going to change their offensive approach a little bit. I do think that you want to try to stop the clock. This 3 possessions is a lot in high school football. You only have 12 minutes in a quarter. It's not 15. So you definitely have to change up a little bit what you're going to do. You want to be careful, though. You give the ball back here, that's going to be the end of the game.
Let me ask you a question. You obviously used to coach at this level. You have an understanding. Is this about, we always see teams that, you don't want to necessarily chase points, but, where teams like, they try to get that first touchdown however they can get there, right? They say, hey, let's do what we do, and you start running on the clock. What about taking a shot right here on this possession? Say, hey, let's take 3 shots on 3 downs and try to light a spark. There's Pico back to pass. Might they do it right here? He's looking for Brady. Prescore almost made an incredible grab. A flag comes in. They were looking for the shot. In coverage was Desmond Stevens.
Johnny, I don't like that call. It's going to hold because they don't review at high school until the state championships. But right now, Desmond Stevens looked like he got contact after the ball was touched, which is allowed. Got his hand on his hip. That grab right there is what they're going to call. But I think that's a little bit, a little bit overdone. But that's what you get with your big receivers, though. I'll tell you. You watch any big receivers from the NFL, college, high school level. Just getting around them, getting to the football. And these guys, Brady Prescott, he's got a great long stride. It's deceptive speed.
Again, pass interference, not a spot foul here in high school. But they do get a first down out of the deal. And then this time, not much room to move for Jake Sukar as he is corralled by the Clarksville defense. Clay Smacka. We know how good this kid can be. Haven't called his name a bunch here tonight, but there's a big stop from the senior strong safety. That's the end of 3. Hold up the force. We got one more quarter of football right after this. Hey, stay with us after the game when Justin Rose and Sidney Carriel, state champs, recap all of tonight's Michigan high school football action from around the great state of Michigan, along with post-game reaction here in Rochester. On Football Fridays Overtime, that's powered by state champs. Bally Sports Detroit Football Fridays are brought to you by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers.
Going to be interesting to see what Rochester Adams does here on offense. Looks like they're staying in their traditional formation.
There's Pico back to pass, taking another shot, looking for Prescorn again. Prescorn went up and got it. He went up over Desmond Stevens. That's high point in the football.
Look, if you're wondering why he has 24 Division I offers, this is why. He's going against a college caliber corner that's long and big, and he just shows great finesse going up and getting the football and staying in bounds. And let's talk about the throw. That's not an average throw by the baseball commit to Alabama. Parker is an amazing football player, and he is not going to give up.
And sometimes in a senior campaign, you have a game that really solidifies what your year's all going to be about. You know, Parker Pico is going to leave it all on the field here tonight. Here he is back to pass again. Pico with time over the middle. Looking for Jake Sukar. Double coverage down the field. Not a poorly thrown ball at all. Take a look at this one more.
And where you have to be careful, this is a corner route or a flag route, so you are running towards the sideline. You have to give your space on your route. You have to leverage inside, meaning taking a line inside to make sure you leave enough space for the throw. And Parker Pico did a great job throwing that, even in double coverage, making a big play there. Keep hopes alive here for Rochester Adams.
Ball's at the 38-yard line. Need 3 scores. Pico hands it off. Sukar, the ball carrier. Sukar with a quick step inside the 35 down to the 33-yard line. Jake Sukar starting to hear his name and number called a little bit more here in the second half.
And again, this is a variation out of the same formation, but it's a counter reverse. They show counter action. Give it to somebody that you haven't seen carrying the ball a lot today and gets a big gain.
Got to move the sticks.
I take another shot here. You got a one-on-one matchup with Brady Prescorn. He's been doing his thing here the last couple quarters.
Trying to play a little more up-tempo here. Nick Patera, the motion man. Instead, Pico keeps it himself and runs in to a host of Wolves. That'll bring up second and long. Clock continues to run. So it looked like they were trying to play a little more up-tempo here. Not huddling up. They get the call in from the sideline. DeMarcus Rouse into the ball game now. So on the top of the screen, you're going to have Prescorn. Again, I love that matchup we've been watching unfold between him and Desmond Stevens. Number 5 for Clarkston. Now flag comes in.
Sideline warning. Adams, it's first. Second down.
I've had a couple of those in my day.
That's the old.
Maybe one a game I averaged.
That's the old slap on the wrist. Say, boys, where's the get back guy? Get back.
Yeah.
2nd 6. Pico keeping it himself. He's got a blocker downfield. Parker Pico into the end zone. There is life for the Highlanders. Fire up the t-shirt can and Natalie. Adams back in this football game in a big way. Chance to cut the deficit to 10 after the point after.
Yeah, you see, there's no action, no fake here. He's going right now. And fortunately for Adams, they had the blitz coming from Clarkston on the opposite side. The box was stacked on that side. They picked the right play call at the right time. Touchdown, Rochester Adams.
Colin Timko
have a great
splits
ball game.
the uprights. One more look. How about Parker Pico? He's rushed his football for almost 250 yards on the ground tonight and 3 touchdowns. Count them, 3. They're going to need more to win this football game. Justin, take us through that final touchdown.
Yeah, really good look here. Once you get a formation that allows a little bit of an overload, but you have this lead back, Tanner Buck, and he's going to drive up right here on the outside backer. And once you see this outside backer come up, he doesn't do a great job of keeping his outside free. He doesn't work half the body. He ducks, and that gives the opportunity for Parker Pico to score a touchdown and get Adams back into this game.
There's Tanner Buck right there leading the charge, and now Parker Pico just 42 yards shy of setting the single game record for yards rushing. Currently held by Matt Sokol, remember the former Michigan Stater, playing in the NFL. It's 42 yards to break that single game mark, but right now Adams more concerned about trying to make up that ground of a 10-point deficit. They've got plenty of time now with 10:26 remaining in this. They needed that quick score, and they got it to open the quarter.
If there was ever the time to find out what your defense is made of, and you could tell by Coach at halftime how frustrated he was, because that is not the identity of Rochester Adams' defenses to let up this many points. Not only this many points, not as many points in the first half. They have to respond right now. And whether that is with pressure, whether that's with a little bit of a different front to give those offensive linemen a little bit of a challenge as far as where you find your blocks.
Hine fakes the handoff, keeps it himself. Picks up a couple yards. Tough running. Finally brought down. Guess who's in on the stop? Number 27, Tanner Buck. Tough two-way player.
Now, if you're Clarkston here, you don't want to get too conservative. Keep your playbook open. We want to take care of the football.
Coach Justin Pintar in his first season as a head coach. He's experienced some of the highs and lows. Again, 4 state championship appearances in the last 10 seasons under Kurt Richardson, and now this is his program to lead. Mike Hines scrambling, looking for room. Take a look at the host of Highlander defenders all right there. Swallowed him up. Didn't let him get outside.
Yeah, right here you go back to the 4 wide. You get a motion. You have big number 88 for Clarkston that has a huge mismatch. Brody Cosin on the defensive back that's probably a foot shorter than him. I would look at that from Clarkston's end and go back to it. You have a one-on-one matchup with that big of a difference of height.
Brody Cosin, young man, 6'6", 230 pounds. A lot of people are going to learn his name quickly.
And you have it again here, number 88 versus number 3.
Empty backfield now for Mike Hine. Here comes the pressure. Hine reaches back. He's looking for Ethan Clark. Lays out for it. No flag. Yes, flag comes in late now. Looked like there might have been a jersey grab. Mike Hine was looking for his senior running back.
Defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
And there it was. Clark laid out for this one. Looks like the jersey grab from Number 5, DJ Greer. Let's take a look at it if we've got it.
Yeah, we're going to get a personal foul on Adams' sideline as well. The coaches are pretty heated about that. They needed to get off the field.
That was Jake Sukar who was in coverage. They're going to get Sukar for grabbing. So 15-yard penalty on the PI, and now another 15.
And you know, it's really a difficult challenge to cover that running back coming out of the backfield. You know, you have so much space and ground that he's coming at you. You don't know exactly what's going on. You start getting flat-footed as a defensive back, and that's what happens. You have to chase and grab. And he got caught.
I'll tell you what, Coach Petrito, enjoyable guy to be around. I think he's a little frustrated right now. Again, now you just give up 30 penalty yards when you had an opportunity to try to turn them over or at least get the football back and maybe flip the field a little bit. Now, Clarkston in business on this side of midfield and looking for more. Ethan Clark picks up about 3 yards on first down. Clock continues to run.
And I hate to have to keep saying his name all the time because there's other football players out there, but Parker Pico coming down from the safety spot, just laying the wood right there. And that's one thing about both of these teams. There's some great competitors on both sides, some great athletes, and just pure football.
That's what I love about this sport as much as anything is it is the ultimate team sport. Yeah, you're going to have your leaders out there. You might hear the name called a lot, but that's because other guys are doing their job and giving you opportunities to make plays. This time they hand the football off. Cole Church with a little bit of burst of speed around the left side. Highlanders defense right there to stop him well short of the first down. That's going to bring up 3rd and short. Adams has got to get a stop here. Got to find a way. We'll call it 3rd and 3.
Yeah, this is definitely 4-down territory. You're looking at it in 2 plays. I love dump passes at this point. Keep everybody in tight. Leak one person out. You got a mismatch down here on the bottom here, just based on height.
Hine, design quarterback keeper all the way. Spinning, leaning, right at the sticks. I believe he got it. Fresh set of downs for Clarkston. Coach Pintar got to be pleased with it. Another look at it. Tough running. Design quarterback keeper here.
Yeah, he got a QB lead here. Doesn't foul his running back, but he saw that he only needed so many yards for the first down, and he took it as soon as it showed its opportunity.
Saw a crease there. Following Cole Church. And now fresh set of downs. 7 minutes remaining here in quarter number 4. Ethan Clark picks up 2 yards. In on the stop, Rocco Orsini, the senior linebacker for the Highlanders. Orsini's a tough cookie, man. Good size and strength. He and Parker Pico have been playing together since the 1st grade. Our coach says he's a salty old soul, even though he's just a high school senior. But he's got a knack for making big plays, causing fumbles, knocking passes down. Be looking for this Adams defense to come in and try to create a turnover here. Try to flip the momentum if they can. Clark wrapped up, popped by Orsini one more time. Orsini had a little bit of help. Broder Kawa also in there on the stop.
And Hassan Murray taking up a lot of space. These guys are starting to scrap. They understand the sense of urgency. Rocco Orsini's just one of those football players, you know. Come up here, watch him fill, get off the block, use his hands to shed the player instead of engaging and staying on and making a really good tackle. They needed that big 3rd down here for Clarkston.
Ball at the 34-yard line. It's 3rd and 10. Hine, flush from the pocket, reaching back. Got a man. Knocked away. Outstanding coverage for number 3, DeMarcus Rouse. He was looking for Cole Jarvis yet again. Great coverage from Rouse.
Great job, gets his head back a little early, but continues to run to where the football player is, and that ball's a little underthrown. Moving on, quarterbacks in high school, they have to roll out and throw. It's not an easy task, especially when you move from wide receiver to quarterback. But you can tell he's owned his craft and worked on his technique, but I wish he knows he wants that one back.
4th and 10. Biggest play for this Adams defense. They are going to kick it. So look at this special team. Look at this. Bouncing down to the 1-yard line. And Cole Church, number 21. Actually going to mark it at the 3. How about that? They showed like they were going for it on 4th. Kicked it right at the line of scrimmage.
And look, we don't talk always about special teams so much, but it's 1/3 of the game, and it's very important in these big games. And this is a huge play. Quick kick, good call by a coach. Got to honor if they're in the offensive set that they may run an offensive play, and it takes a very fortunate bounce. Good job and awareness over there not to let it go into the end zone for a touchback. You got him pinned back here deep.
Tough play to make there. Shows you the type of athlete Mike Hine is. He can catch passes, he can throw passes, he can kick it too.
2 special athletes at quarterback here tonight.
Adams gonna have to go 97 yards. Pass knocked down into the backfield. Clay Smacker right there in pursuit.
Really good defensive call here. You're bringing Clay Smacker, the strong safety, off of the edge. Put some pressure on. You got a chance to get a safety, intentional grounding. And that's exactly what you want to do. Load the box. Make sure that those offensive linemen are outnumbered.
Again, you see Pico standing on the M in the end zone. Does have one running back in there for protection. That's his brother Tate. Airs it over the middle. First down, Highlanders.
I mean, you cannot throw a better ball than this. He looks to the right, looks off the safety, and gets right down the middle on a skinny post. Desmond Stevens is right on the hip, goes to try to make a play. Good throw and catch, but he's showing some of your baseball talent there from the quarterback right now.
Pico this time going to keep it himself. Clarkston defense right there to swallow him up. Clay Smacka in there with another stop.
We didn't say Clay Smacka's name a lot in the first half. We talked to Coach this week, and he had nothing but great reviews on him as a tackler, as a physical player, as a leader, and he's made some really key defensive stops here in the second half.
4.5 minutes to play. They got to score quickly. It looked like Pico was looking to call timeout. He's got 4 receivers set. Rolling to the near side. Had Sukar off his hands, out of bounds. Incomplete. That'll bring up 3rd and long.
Have to make this catch as a football player. Big play, big down. Absolutely have to make the catch. He runs a good route, gets space, just can't bring it down. Ball thrown a little high. We have a rule, though, it touches your fingers, you catch the football. I'm going to Brady Briscoe. You have to. He's your big-time player. He's been making the plays against Desmond Stevens here. Last couple plays, at least. Desmond's done a great job. See him at the top of the screen here. Want to see that matchup. Oh, big-time penalty.
Penalty comes in.
False start.
Dead ball. False start. Offense. Repeat, 3rd down.
So uncharacteristic to see these type of penalties, especially from a team that brought a lot back. Again, these are those crunch time situations. You might think an extra 5 yards, and what does it matter? Well, 3rd and 9 to 3rd and 14 when you're fighting clock, going the wrong way.
You might think I'm crazy. Great time for a draw or a screen here. You let people that give them pit their ears back, 3rd and long situation. Might want to throw something different at them. Give them a curveball.
Pico with time. Almost picked off. Almost picked off. Jalen Wilson, the senior, in there to help break up that play.
Yeah, does a really good job trailing his man, coming in there. Ball's thrown a little behind, gets his hands on, knocks it down. Great job there by the defensive back.
He was looking for Drew Hepner. Jalen Wilson in there. He's had a couple pass breakups. Now it's 4th and ball game. Ball at the 33. This is it. And there's going to be a timeout on the field. We're going to take it with them. Timeout, Clarkston. What a game it's been. Rochester Adams got one play to keep any hopes alive. We'll bring it to you right after this. It's been a great game. Looking forward to the OT show. Appreciate you guys. We'll be tuning in. Might there be a fantastic finish to this one, Justin? What do you call up here? What are you drawing up?
Honestly, I would have punted the ball. I got 3 timeouts. I don't want to give the ball back. It's a long 4th down conversion, but they're going for it. And I'm going to throw it to my playmakers. You got some one-on-one matchups with the safety really inside here at the bottom of the screen.
Pico back to pass. He's going to keep it himself. Turns upfield. He's got one blocker. He's got to pick up about 6 more yards to extend the drive. Instead, the Clarkston defense didn't let him break contain. And that's going to be a turnover on downs. And now you get a sense from this Adams crowd.
Yeah,
they're running out of time.
Yeah, you see him roll left here. The safety was way inside, so you had this one-on-one matchup that had some space, but just wasn't there. There was great pursuit by the Clarkston defense, and just could not get enough. And again, you know, it's easy to say up here in the booth, the questionable call, but they wanted to go ahead and go for it, press it. They're down by 10. Field goal, touchdown is going to really put this game out of reach.
Strung him out, able to make the stop, and now I think we'll see some heavy doses of Ethan Clark. There he goes on 1st down, still running hard. Clark breaks through one arm tackle, picks up about 7 yards on 1st.
If you're going to use your timeout, you got to get a stop. You cannot let 6 yards on the 1st down. It's going to be a waste of a timeout, and they're going to start milking the clock. So you got to get a stop here in order to use those 1st downs.
Remember a couple years ago, I think it might have been, 2013, Clarkston was one of the top-rated teams in the state. Adams came in there and upset them, disrupted their plans for what they wanted to do that year.
And from my time in rivalries with the likes of Brother Rice and CC, you don't forget those games. I don't care how much time passed, and these coaches were all there. So they remember every game that hurt a little more than the next in a big rivalry.
Jake Sukar able to walk off under his own power. Now a message from the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers.
Returning AZ Plan lessees can order an F-150 today and lease it for $299 a month for 24 months. Only at your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Think Ford first.
Approaching 3 minutes to play in this ball game. 2nd and 4. Clarkston content to let this clock run.
Yeah, they cannot stop the clock because of injury. Obviously, the injury is not legit. But
Adams still with 3 timeouts, but holding on to him at the moment. Mike Hine rolling to his right, being strung out. Hine wrapped up, brought down, might have lost a yard. Nice job in pursuit by Tate Pico from his linebacker position. Timeout on the field. We're going to take it with them. Islanders running out of time. Need some opportunities. Need a turnover. Time now for tonight's player of the game, brought to you by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Number 34 in white, the senior, Ethan Clark.
370 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's done it all for him. He's created mismatches all night. He's gotten the tough yards. He's gotten the conversions on 3rd and short, 4th and short. He's really has led his team to a great victory tonight, assuming that this score holds up. Great job to Ethan Clark. Hats off to a great football, Mr. Football candidate.
He's had a heck of a career on his 4th year, a chance to become the all-time school rushing leader. Ethan Clark adding to the totals around the left side, cuts back inside. Clark on 3rd and 8 picks up about 5.
You're just not going to see a whole lot of running backs in high school have the ability to hit the edge and have the vision in their peripheral to see the cutback lane. And that's what he does. He sticks his foot and he gets upfield. There's no stop. There's no lateral. It's getting back upfield. It's just really impressive to watch him run.
Great vision. And now, with a timeout from Adams, stops the clock at 2:34. Take a look at this. Time of possession. Hit on it a little bit earlier in the quarter. Clarkston able to rewrite the script. Totally changed. I mean, you always talk about tale of two halves. Take a look at it. Both halves successful, but this is exactly what they were looking for. That was the recipe.
And that's not by accident. The coaches knew they had a good lead going in with that big interception at the end of the half by Cole Jarvis. And they just strategized to say, hey, if a play busts, it busts, but we're going to nickel and dime them down the field and hold on to the football. Although they scored 10 points, they held Adams to 7 this half.
4th and 3. Hine trying to draw him off sides with the hard count. This time pitches it back. Ethan Clark. Cutback lane. Clark first down. Clarkston. Guess who? Following the lead block from number 72, the man who's going to be playing at Michigan State on Saturdays, Cody Dellinger.
And we talked about being big, physical, and finishing. And you're watching big number 72, the Michigan State commit. And here we go. Pushing, sealing off. You know, it seems like a simple block, but he's just turning inside. He's taking up so much space on 3 defenders. Good job again with the vision of Ethan Clark, getting to the edge, getting where he needs to go upfield.
Clark again with the football. Clark with the stiff arm, brought down at the 21-yard line. All but academic at this point now. Adams still with one timeout in its pocket, should they choose to use it. But there'll be some decisions to be made. As we mentioned, you know, this OAA red now opens up. You know, again, I think everything's still in front of both these programs moving forward. It's only week 3 of the high school season, but certainly now your margin for error becomes a little slimmer. As far as wanting to win a division title, we know Clarkston won 14 division titles with Kurt Richardson at the helm. Ethan Clark, cutback block again from Clark. Clark, tough running. What an effort tonight. Well, we've seen a lot of good players through these first couple weeks of the season, but certainly Ethan Clark deserves the praise. He's been getting humble kid. And certainly a bright future. We mentioned uncommitted right now. He's getting some interest from some different programs, but not a ton of Power 5 interest.
Well, if he's
not check
now,
this tape.
Yeah, check the tape.
This time Mike Hine keeps it himself, keeps it on the ground, and down to the 10-yard line. So Clarkston, we mentioned that season opener in that battle with the Big House. You know, they didn't do everything they wanted to do, but they battled a tough Davison team, only lost by a score. And that Southfield A&T team they faced last week, again, they beat Cass Tech, so they know. They're trying to figure out what they got themselves.
We talked about identity being a key to success for Clarkston, finding identity on defense, and they found it tonight. It might have took them a half, but they found it tonight. And watching that game against Davison, seeing the shootout and the craziness of last week against Southfield A&T, Clarkston really improved and should be proud of themselves in their performance tonight.
Number 13 knocks off number 3 in a classic OAA red matchup. Fabulous effort. Always a battle when these two teams come together. We expected it. We got it tonight. Congratulations to Coach Pinto on his first season at the helm at Clarkston. That's going to do it for our Football Fridays Game of the Week. The final score, Clarkston 45, Rochester Adams 35. Stay with us. Our Football Fridays coverage continues with Justin Rose and Sidney Carriel of State Champs as they recap all of tonight's high school football action from around the state. That's on Football Fridays Overtime, powered by State Champs. Coming up next, for Natalie Kerwin and my partner Justin Cessante, I'm Johnny Kane. We thank you for watching.